take the free kick.
Steve Hocking, that tough back pocket player, long way up the ground, brings it to half forward. Burke was the flyer, but the umpire had found a free kick. That's to the Geelong champ, and listen to the roars of the crowd. Gary Ablett.
Greg Anderson picking him up. It looks as if Ablett has actually started on the forward line today.
Oh, look at that booming kick right up towards the pocket. The players, oh, what a good mark, Stoneham. What a good mark, running back to the flight of the ball.
Yeah, that's a great mark in these conditions. Great courage shown by Stoneham there. Playing at centre half forward, going back. Kevin Walsh putting the pressure on, but Stoneham with only eyes for the ball.
Barry Stoneham, 50 VFL games from 25 metres. Oh, he lost his footing and he's hooked it straight out of bounds on the full. It's going to be very difficult, Bernie Quinlan. Any kick for goal from 30 metres or more out will be hard.
Well, we can say the conditions, I suppose, are slightly better than Saturday, but then they were about the worst for 10 years, I think, here at the MCG on Saturday.
And Anthony Danaher slipped as he kicked in, and a chest mark taken by Paul Couch within 50. Now, normally Couch for a little man is a long kick of the ball, but from 50 metres today, I doubt his chances of scoring. Straight off the side of the boot and out of bounds again.
Well, that's a little bit unwise. I would just say, Bernie, to be trying to go for torpedo punts instead of setting it up.
Yeah, really, he needed a centering drop punt would have been the go there, Pete.
Here's the ball at half back. A quick kick comes up towards the pocket again. Here's a chance for Buse. Over to Couch. He's kicked it.
Well, he made amends very quickly, Paul Couch. And Geelong straight into attack. They are a very good side. Don't worry about that. They've been shown tremendous form over the last couple of weeks. And have a look at that kick into the forward line. They've been excellent at ground level over the last couple of weeks. Their support, their backing up of each other has been excellent. And there we see it again. Couch running up from the centre, receiving the hand pass and kicking that goal.
Simon Madden, Victorian ruckman against Damien Burke. Watson gets it out of the middle. On the turn to half forward. Knocked out of there by Rogers, a former Essendon player against his old team. Michael Long taps on, comes to Plain, loses ground, goes outside 50, but a beautiful pass on the chest of Werner, right in front, and Michael Werner has it 40 metres from goal.
Yes, Werner lining up at full forward with Salmon out of the side. Good build-up by Essendon and an excellent pass to Werner on the lead.
Very heavy underfoot. Werner doesn't quite make the distance. It's touched on the line and through for a behind.
Michael Werner is one of the best recruits I've seen in a long time coming to VFL. He's very, very quick. And good thinking by Kevin Sheedy to obviously to lead up the ground on Tim Darcy. Darcy towards half-back. Or the big fly was by Schultz. Here's Gary Hocking over the back. And eventually it's forced by Underwood to Watson, who's in everything at the moment. Watson to half forward. Bradley Plain underneath it. Couldn't take the mark. Cleverly tries to tap it out. What's the skills of Andrew Buse, the state back pocket player? Brings it to centre wing. Kevin Walsh goes back and takes a good strong mark.
Well, already we've seen a lot more marks taken today than we saw here on Saturday. Richmond and the Bears. Hocking gets one in the back. The ball's gone out, but Hocking gets the free kick. Whereas the ground is heavy, on Saturday we saw it rain from start to finish. At least the weather above is fine today. Kick by Gary Hocking to half forward. Stoneham in front. Yes, he came down with it. A mark paid.
Very improved player, Barry Stoneham, whether they're playing at centre-half forward or in the ruck. Gives Geelong plenty of options.
Inside half forward with his kick. Ablett! Well, he seemed to have his name written all over it. And Gary Ablett, who has performed miracles in the last 2 or 3 weeks, is doing it again.
Yes, marking uncontested there on the chest. Poor defence there by Essendon.
One of the longest kicks in league football. Out of the mud. He gets the distance, but not the accuracy for a behind.
Well, even that chest mark, he jumped about 3 feet in the air. He is a brilliant player. Number 5 for Geelong. A tough task for Anderson to pick up Ablett today. Anthony Danaher, look at that kick. Beautiful kick, almost to the centre, punched away by Boss, or attempted punch. The umpire said it was a mark to Terry Danaher. He's had a great year. former captain of the Bombers, brings it to half forward. It's a loose ball to Morgan, to Gary Hocking. Hocking caught one high, over to Buse. Buse to half forward. It's a mark to Couch. Oh, he doesn't want to do too much of that. I could reverse it. Couch has gone wide. He's got a loose man. And it's Gary Ablett again. And already Anderson's giving him a lot of latitude. But Tim Watson's on the mark. It'll be interesting.
I think Tim Watson may have been moved onto him already.
Unless they're interchanging off him. But anyway, we'll wait and see. There's the kick by Ablett. He sets it up to the goal square. Damien Burke in front. Over the back it goes. And over the line beside the behind post. Scoreboard reading, Geelong 1-1. Leading Essendon 1 behind. There's Paul Bernaher on the bench.
Now it's Anderson back on Ablett. Couch takes it and snaps for goal, but across the face and out of bounds.
Yes, actually, Tim Watson was just covering for Greg Anderson, giving Gary Ablett far too much latitude. Looks like a change being made now already, though. Hamilton going back to Gary Ablett.
The hand pass comes to Buse, and he snaps a goal.
This new Camry really goes.
You can feel the response. Camry's incredible twin cam engine, 16 valves, 4 per cylinder, twice as many as most others. Electronic fuel injection for better response and performance and better fuel economy. The most powerful 2-litre in the class and the most sophisticated engine made in Australia. With its own computer continually tuning the engine means maximum power using minimum fuel. 4-wheel disc brakes, front and rear anti-roll bars. Feel the way it hugs the corners. Fully independent suspension.
The Australian Camry twin cam brings out the driver in you.
How do we stop him? Turn up the music.
Well, here they come again. Malakalis towards half forward. There's Stoneham. He does all the heavy work too. He's a real goer, Bernie.
Yes, there's no doubt about that, Peter. He's been great for them at centre, half forward or in the ruck.
Malcolm Blight looking on. He'd be pleased with this start. Burke tapping it down. It's kicked away by Bailey. The centre wing. Here's Mark Boss. Very rarely plays a bad game. Oh, Harvey was grabbed when he didn't have it. And this is Mark Harvey, almost in the centre of the ground. Harvey, a very, very good player, Mark Harvey. Underwood, with the ball that's got funny colour now, that football, as it's at half-back. Here's Darren Morgan, got runners everywhere. This is Neville Bruns. Bruns to centre wing. A mark is dropped by Bairstow. Quickly shuffles it back to Schultz. Schultz playing for the free kick and gets it. Schultz almost on centre wing. Michael Schultz. Played many games in the reserves at Geelong, but he's found his niche at centre half back. Here's Malakalis again, trying to get the hand pass in. Look at that mud. And the skills of these players under the conditions enormous.
Yeah, very tough playing in these muddy conditions. At least we haven't got the surface water that we did have on Saturday, so maybe a few high marks may be able to be taken today.
Boss, Lindner, couldn't take the mark. Playing for the free kick. Here's a chance for Rexall into an open goal. I think it's another one to the Cats. What a start.
Yes, this is a great start by Geelong. And their support, they're backing up of each other. It was great last week against Collingwood. They've continued it on again today. And the spirit that Malcolm Blight has got in this Geelong side, there's never been any doubt about their skills, but their discipline, they're backing up. And there's just no doubt about them. They have improved greatly this season under Malcolm Blight.
Back in the middle, and Burke beats Madden, which is no mean feat. Walsh off the ground. Kick forward by Boss. Comes off the shins of Bairstow back into the pack, and the umpire will ball it up again or throw it up in that muddy area. What a start by the Cats. 3-1 to 1 behind. 16.5 minutes remaining in the first term. Burke wins again. Hocking after it. Watson. Watson gets his kick away. High towards centre wing. Ball just plops in the mud. Knocked forward. Ablett's back in defence behind the wing. Here's Gary Ablett. Oh, that's well played by Ablett. He gains 30 metres. Hamilton's there for Geelong, for Essendon. Good kick by Hamilton. Up short of half forward. Danaher's been one of the stars of the season. It comes away to Gary Hocking. His high kick to half forward on the chest of Bairstow. Pushed over. Is that 50? It is. And this will bring Mark Bairstow within kicking distance. The umpire going right to about 20 metres in front of goal.
Yes, well, there was definitely a push there by Kevin Walsh. There's the push. I think Bairstow really tripped over his own feet. I just think that they should get some consistency with this rule.
Well, this will be 4 goals to nothing if Bairstow can get this, and he should. But he hasn't.
It just shows how tough it is, Drew, kicking from... He only kicked there from 25 metres out, but they're going so heavy underfoot, the players are finding it difficult to find a dry spot on which to place that the foot that they're not kicking with.
19 points the difference. Geelong showing great form. Over the back was Johnston to Williams. Always crunched. No, didn't quite get him, Ablett. Michael Long, the boy from Darwin, shuffles it out to Hamilton. Back it comes to Long, but it beats him over the line. It's halfway between centre wing and half forward. There he is. Champion player from up in the Northern Territory. And has shown some fine form this year for Essendon too. That's tapped down. Hocking. Bruns. Quick kick. Looking for Scott. Scott into the back of O'Donnell. Now they've played the advantage and it hasn't worked. But eventually there was a little bit... That's where the advantage rule really doesn't work sometimes. But Luck's of fortune was a free kick to Williams. To Danaher. Taken away by Ablett. A magnificent pick-up out of the blue pot. Look at the time he's got. Goes for the long bomb, but it's off the side of the boot. And there's another champion taking the mark out there in Tim Watson.
It was superstar to superstar. Ablett to Watson. What about Ablett's pick up in the mud? Watson short of half forward, knocked down by Burke. Comes to Williams. He's kicked to centre half forward. Morgan takes the mark. It's 3-2 to 1 behind. The Cats in front. Kick by Morgan. Gary Hocking. No, not quite. The hand pass from Hamilton to Williams. Watson picking his feet up through the mud. Off the ground. Only gained about 15 metres. Boss under pressure. Harvey did well. Malakalis into his back, and Harvey will get the free kick. Mark Harvey. 2 kicks to goal from there. Goes short, looking for Izzard. Knocked away by Stephen Hocking. The umpire calls for it and will ball it up. This is about 35 to 40 metres out from goal. The Bombers in attack.
A finals type atmosphere. A huge crowd here at the MCG. And they're looking good. Geelong. Malakalis has got it. His hand pass wide to Bruns. Oh, Bruns is dragged as he went to kick it. Goes back in after it again. Good play, Neville Bruns. To Steve Hocking. Hocking to Malakalis is tripped. But in the meantime, the umpire has found a free for a throw, I think. I think he's paying the throw to Michael Long. I think the umpire intimated that was a scoop.
Yep, indicated a throw, Pete. There's no doubt about it. And Long probably only having a shot from about 40 metres out, but in these conditions, it's no gimme.
Michael Long. Distance would be a doubt. He's in the mud patch. He's not normally a long kick. There it is. He's hooked it to try and get that extra bit of distance, and he's missed. So Essendon could do with a quick goal or two. Scoreboard shows Geelong 3-2, Essendon 2 behinds.
Tim Darcy to kick in for the Cats. Well, their defence has been a little maligned this year. Their attack carrying all before them, but as Malcolm Blight told us yesterday on air, they start their attacks from defence. Darcy kicks in. Schultz almost. Comes off to Werner. Gary Hocking. He's got a bit of space. An example of their defence starting attacks. Hocking to half forward. Stone him up. Couldn't mark. Anderson, who's picking up Ablett. Schultz, no mark. Terry Danaher, who's been superb this season, will get the free kick.
Yeah, that's a spot to be on a day like this in front. And if you're there, you've got to have a chance to get the free kicks.
226 VFL games and very few poor games by Terry Danaher. Towards half forward, over the back. This is Tim Darcy. They run well out of defence. Geelong. Couch has had a good quarter. He's gone short. He's found Schultz. Michael Schultz. Sits at about 30 metres around the boundary line. Walsh went for the punch away, but Bairstow shuffles it out to Ablett. Gary Ablett onto the left foot. A low skimming pass to Etzel. He was under pressure. Here's Robert Scott. Danger for Essendon. Anderson in after it. And takes it to the line about 25 metres around from the Geelong goal. What a big task he's got. And Gary Ablett, Greg Anderson, 3-2 to 2 behinds under these conditions. That's a great start. There's Billy Duckworth, tackled. Caught with the ball by Gary Hocking, and the umpire will throw the ball up.
Pete, Gary Ablett's had 7 kicks already, and in these conditions, that's remarkable. We're 11.5 minutes short of quarter time. He's been best on ground the last 2 weeks, and continuing on today. Harvey's kick comes off the shins, goes to Couch. Couch up short of the goal square. Excel!
And there's another reason why Geelong have improved so much this year. Gavin Exel, who kicked 36 before today, has kicked 1 in this first quarter. And an excellent strong chest mark there by Exel. So coming in for his 38th for the season.
Difficult angle. Bit of dry ground out there, though, and he might have kicked it. He has.
Now you can enjoy bottle-quality wine in a new convenient pack. The Prentice Plenty Pack is the easy way to buy premium Australian wine. Quality white and quality red wine. Great for outdoors, it's a full litre of superb wine. Genuine bottle quality at a fantastic price. Easy to store, easy to pour. The Prentice Plenty Pack is just right for any occasion. It took Prentice to put premium wine in a convenient pack. Buy now at your local liquor outlet and enjoy.
Well, the Cats lead by 4 goals, and they're playing champagne football. This is Dean Bailey receiving that free kick in the centre of the ground. Brings it to half forward, Madden. Geelong going in very hard. Steve Hocking taps it back, and players pounce on the ball, and the umpire will throw it up again. 10.5 minutes of play left, and a very impressive display this. Burke doing well in the hit-outs. Out to Bairstow. Bairstow around the boundary line. O'Donnell decides to go to the boundary line and put it over, but Gary O'Donnell will be under a bit of pressure today in that back pocket. He's a state player and a very good player. He's had a fine season.
Madden and Burke. Burke used his body beautifully. Couch can't get a hand pass away. Harvey's there. The umpire eventually will ball it up on centre wing. 4-2 Geelong, 2 behinds Essendon, and a great start by the Cats, remembering that here on Saturday 5 goals 15 was a winning score, and already the Cats have 4 goals. Well, the kick by Williams is a chest mark down there at half-back flank, and a 50-metre penalty to Andrew Rogers.
And so it should have been. Ridiculous play by Izzard. No, not necessary at all. Uncalled for.
He'll be trying hard today, Drew. A former, well, sacked in fact by Essendon, and he was all set to go back to play again in South Australia, and Malcolm Blight called him up. There's the kick towards half forward. Stoneham takes front position, punched away. Here's Couch again. He's having a great day. Anthony Danaher in front has brought the ground. Is that holding the ball? The umpire didn't think so. Good tackle by Exel.
Yes, well, he had the sit on Danaher. Danaher doing the right thing in front, but he just couldn't get away.
Right in front of the Geelong goal. Oh, Burke taps it out wide. Harvey tries to boot it off the ground. Hughes showed a lot of courage. They're going in very, very hard. Here's a quick kick by Bairstow. Punched away, though. Exel attempting to take the mark, trying to get the mud out of his eyes. Anthony Danaher on the scene to punch it over the line.
Madden and Burke again. Comes down to Duckworth, who went straight for the boundary line. The umpire said throw it in. Well, there was no doubt about his intentions there, Billy Duckworth. This throw in about 40 metres around from the goal square. Madden uses his body well. Oh, Gary Hocking charging straight through, and the umpire will ball it up again. Atrocious conditions, but I suppose we shouldn't complain. We've had 10 rounds of football in beautiful conditions with firm grounds in Melbourne, and all of a sudden winter has arrived for the Queen's birthday weekend. Underwood, and he'll get the free kick.
Another one of the former South Australians playing in this Essendon team. Andrew Underwood brings it to centre wing. David Johnston tries to bring it forward, but here's Bairstow again, bringing it wide. Darren Morgan will lead in the race for the ball. Robert Scott also there. Danaher throws. The old legs certainly showed out there as that quick kick from Scott. Has found Stoneham. Stoneham on centre wing has gone short. He found a man in Couch who's having a great quarter. Paul Couch, 7 kicks. And it's been reversed. It's been reversed and the free kick will go to Dean Bailey.
Well, he pushed a player in the face earlier after he'd taken a mark, Couch, and the umpire let it go, and he was lucky he got away with that other one.
This is back at centre wing. Harvey loses control of it to Bairstow. And Bairstow with his 5th kick puts it wide. Billy Brownless just off the bench. Brownless to full forward. Excel. Good spoil, Danaher. Anthony Danaher puts it out.
Interesting, Gary Ablett was calling out to Brownless he should have centred the ball where he'd led in front of goal.
Yeah, it would have been better too, Peter.
Throw in on the Cats forward line. Comes underfoot. Underwood. Oh, the kick dangerous. To Buse. Out of the mud. Very wide. Brownless is there. Fingernails to it. Couldn't take the mark. Duckworth first there. Duckworth had nobody to kick to, so he goes for wide open spaces and hopefully for him the boundary line. Boss. Izard with him. Boss uses his body well. And the umpire calls for the ball up.
I don't think the umpires will pay too much of this lying on the ball today and playing hold in the ball. I think they'll use their discretion. There was a funny old throw-up, but Malacallis gets the ball over to Robert Scott. They're looking good, Geelong. The quick kick is dropped. Marked up, kicked off the ground by Underwood. Tempted markers by Lindner. Oh, holding the man. Oh!
Put on a big act there, Pete.
But I still thought he was grabbed. It was Izard bringing the ball to half forward. Bradley Plain, a diving mark. Quick mark at half forward. Feel like these conditions. He comes from Tasmania. Plain the quick kick to the pocket. It's punched away. And trying to tap it back was Michael Long, but the Geelong players force it over the line and through for a behind to Essendon. They're on 3 behinds. Geelong 4-2-26.
Essendon without a goal at the moment, but at this ground on Saturday, Richmond failed to get a goal in the first quarter and won easily. So not beyond the realms. Buse out of defence to centre wing, and how come Bruns got 20 metres in these conditions? Bruns up to half forward. Poor kick though, and Hamilton slides into the mark.
Now playing on Gary Ablett to Hamilton.
Anderson, an All-Australian, didn't do the job. Poor kick by Hamilton, thumped down by Lindner. Chance for Couch, who's been brilliant. Hurried right footer. Good pick-up by Hamilton. But he's caught in the tackle. Loses it. Ablett missed with the kick. Hamilton in there again to make up. Hamilton's going to get the free kick here against Malacallis. Looked a bit like a dead heat to me.
And Malacallis has given away a couple of free kicks. Paul Hamilton. Well, he'll be a nervous man. Oh, a shocking kick, but it's a fortunate lands in the hands of Underwood. Andrew Underwood towards half forward. In front was Rogers. He'll be trying particularly hard today. Bairstow again has gone wide. Couch having a picnic. Paul Couch, what a day he's having under these conditions. Real mudlark. Lindner. Oh, propped in front of the pack. He's playing on. He's going to have an open goal. Bruce Lindner kicks and misses. But good thinking by Lindner.
Yes, he did the right thing. He ran into firmer footing.
Anthony Danaher to kick in. We have 4 minutes remaining to quarter time. Geelong 4-3 to no goals 3. Bruns perhaps spoiled his teammate taking the mark, Hocking, and then Bruns kicked out of bounds on the full.
Not a lot of talk there by Geelong, but it just shows how keen they are. Eyes only for that ball.
Kick coming back to Andrew Underwood. Essendon's success this year in working up to second place on the ladder, largely due to a lot of South Australian recruits, including Underwood, and the form of their veterans, Terry Danaher and Tim Watson. Kick by Underwood. Only to half-back flank. Oh, Watson was underneath the ball and Steve Hocking took an easy mark.
Yes, they're doing it well, Geelong. He centres the ball. Walsh at the back tries to punch it away. He does so, but Bairstow is there and Buse. Well, they're scouting the packs. Those little men are cutting Essendon to pieces. Another free kick to Essendon. This time it's going to Watson. And they're in a lot of trouble. Essendon towards half-forward Plain doing the heavy work. Bruns. Oh, magnificent. Hand pass. Further afield to Rogers, but yeah, umpires called the advantage rule. Centre wing, shuffled back by Johnston. Morgan pushed off the ball. Bailey in after it. They're doing all right with the free kicks, Essendon. But still, he got in first for it, Dean Bailey, and deserved the free.
14 free kicks to Essendon, 5 to Geelong.
Well, I thought so. I didn't know it was that much. 14 to 5.
Bailey's kick on the chest of Harvey at half forward. 2 3/4 minutes to go to quarter time. Mark Harvey up to half forward. Danaher drops a mark. Didn't see that in a month of Mondays. Comes down to Johnston. Chance for the Bombers here. Comes to the back. Plain pushed in the back. Free kick right in front.
Let's have a look at that again. And I think the push was there. Plain realised he was about to be tackled, and some players are very good at throwing themselves forward.
Plain, a Tasmanian, and he might have seen conditions like this earlier on in his life down in the Apple Isle. Now this is a vital kick for the Bombers. They're goalless to this stage. Just under 2 minutes left to quarter time, and Kevin Sheedy would love Bradley Plain to kick this one. He's got it.
It's much easier to get a job in business if you're properly trained by the Stones people. Stones Commercial College. Phone us on 231-5982. You'll learn to use the latest electronic equipment in uncrowded classes with helpful teachers. New courses commence on July 18th and enrolments are now open. You're also welcome to call in at any time to inspect our up-to-date facilities and extensive range of the latest equipment. Stones Commercial College, taking care of business.
Geelong lead by 3 goals. Oh, beautiful pick-up. Lindner caught high, but he shrugs the tackle. Bruce Lindner going for the long bomb. Right down towards goal, the loose one. Oh, Ablett went in hard after it. And you can see the desperation of the Geelong forwards there. And, in fact, we mentioned Bradley Plain before. Collingwood swapped him for Tony Elshaw. So they might prove a bad move in the long run. Underwood tackled. Grabbed by Hocking. Gary Hocking has picked it up on the left and slammed it through for a goal.
A quick reply by Geelong. And their enthusiasm and desperation has been enormous this season. I've just been so impressed with their tackling. And when the tackle's been applied, they've always had numbers in support, backing up. On that occasion, Hocking being the player in support. Quick to pounce on that one. There it is against Stoneham, doing well in the ruck again. And the good tackle there, desperate tackle by Geelong, spilling out to Gary Hocking, kicking the quick goal.
Back in the centre, and a trip, and an Essendon free kick. Johnston. 40 seconds left. Can Essendon get another one? Harvey charged at that one, but missed it. Buse, a little kick across. Stephen Hocking. Maybe Geelong can get another one. Hocking up towards half forward. Brownless is there, nudged under it by Walsh. The punch comes to Gary Hocking, dragged down in the mire. Back to Hamilton, who put it down red hot. The umpire said he dropped it, or was held when not in possession.
He put it down. You're right, Drew. That shouldn't have not have been a free kick to Hamilton.
Unbelievable.
So the kick by Hamilton over the centre. I don't think there's any time left for any more scoring. Buse a little kick into the mud. Couch is there, socket out of his hands by Watson. The whistle's gone. It's going to be an Essendon free, but too late for the Bombers, and it is quarter time here at the MCG. Well, Tim Watson's going back for a shot from 90 metres, and he's had a look and thought, I need binoculars for this one. I can't kick for goal from here. What a quarter by the Cats. 5-3 in the first quarter to 1-3. Well, before we leave you, a footy fact. The record attendance for a Geelong-Essendon clash was established here at the MCG for the 1968 preliminary final. In fact, it was the last time they played here. A crowd of 103,649 packed into the ground to see the Bombers run out winners despite some poor kicking, 11-25 to 9-13.
Horse racing is news as it happens. And the biggest news stories happen right here. The big news right now is this. Foster's Light. G'day, Pete. He's got a light, all right? The flavour that made Foster's famous in a great light beer. Just 2.5 if you've got to drive. What do you reckon, guys? New Foster's Light. Best news for beer drinkers since Foster's.
So, what's with the Leyland brothers? What happened to the wagon?
The Jackaroo is around the same price. With everything. Fuel injection, power steering, automatic if you want it.
Well, what are you going to do with the four-wheel drive?
Kakadu, Fraser Island. Give you a drive.
Yeah, wouldn't mind.
You're looking sharp, you're looking good, you've come so far. We know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son, it's what we've always done. To let the best of man can get. On so many faces, it's plain to see. We give you all we have to give, for all a man can be. Where the race is run, you're the champion.
Gillette Contour Plus with lubricating strip for the best a man can get.
The good word on cereal is Capilano. Capilano, the Australian word for honey. Spread the good word. The good word on chicken is Capilano. Capilano, the Australian word for honey. Spread the good word.
Britain's greatest actors are coming to 7. In the most sensational spy thriller in years.
Code name Kirill.
Edward Woodward, Ian Charlson from Chariots of Fire, Oscar winner Denham Elliott, and Peter Vaughan. The first night will have you intrigued.
The traitor is one of us.
The second night will have you riveted to your seat.
This is a trap. You are the bait, and I am going to get you both.
Mitsubishi presents Codename Kirill, coming soon to 7.
Results of matches played so far in round 11 over the Queen's Birthday long weekend. In Sydney on Friday night, Carlton defeated Sydney in a very fiery encounter. In the wet in Melbourne on Saturday, Footscray beat St Kilda by 8 points. Richmond here at the MCG defeated Brisbane by 19 points, and it was a 35-point win to North over Fitzroy. And yesterday, in good conditions in Perth, Collingwood defeated the West Coast easily. Quarter-by-quarter time score here, 5-3 Geelong to Essendon 1-3. Goal kickers Exel got 2, 1 each to Couch, Hughes and Hocking, and for Essendon, Plain got 1. And quarter time in the other big match being played in Melbourne today. The replay of the grand final, the Hawks 2-2, Melbourne 3-1, so Melbourne by 5 points. Michael Roberts down on the boundary line.
Yeah, well, with my new footwear, I managed to get out to the huddles, and Mel Blight was quite delighted with his side. In such conditions, he wants the team essential things done. Kevin Sheedy was quite vocal in his approach, and they must make the most of every forward thrust.
Thrown up in the middle by umpire Brian Sheen. New football, but it won't last long. It's going to be caked in mud after about 10 seconds. The umpire's going to throw it up in the air again. Look at this brand new football.
Well, aren't the skills sensational considering the conditions? These players are very, very highly skilled. There's Burke and Madden. They're having a terrific drill at the centre bounces. Oh, it's a free kick. This man, Gary Hocking. And listen to the ironical cheers of the crowd, because the free kicks are 19-5 in favour of Essendon. And the Geelong supporters roared when they got one then. Gary Hocking's played a great game. Towards half forward. Is that a mark? Yes, the umpire thought so to Ablett. Ablett played well.
Unbelievable.
He is a great player, Ablett.
Hooked it in with one arm.
He's calling for someone to lead, I think. He's waiting. And he wants someone to lead out. Right, now he's going short instead. And that might have been a blind, that one, as he's found Bairstow. Now, Mark Bairstow from 70 metres out, kicks it to half forward. Walsh is in there. Malakalis looking for Lindner. He's went without the ball on that occasion. Stoneham. And another free kick has been plucked out of that one. And it will go Essendon's way to... No, it'll go to Tim Watson. Well, he's getting plenty of frees. Watson out wide. Johnston shuffles it further afield to Terry Danaher. Not a day for forwards. Towards half forward is Bradley Plain. He's trying his heart out down there. He hooks it back. And Mark Boss, ever reliable, takes the mark.
Kick by Boss is a good 40-metre kick. Oh, what a mark by Burke. Well, he hasn't taken too many marks this year. That was a screamer. It comes to the back to Exel. A snap for goal. And he should have kicked it or hand passed it, but he hooked it for a behind.
Yeah, the hand pass was on. I think it was Malakalis would have been streaming into an open goal, which would have been a certain goal to Geelong.
Yes, and you might have thought he was under a bit more pressure than what he was, Bernie. 5-4. Plays 1-3. Essendon under enormous pressure here. There's Bruns bumped off the ball. And I don't think there was much in that either, but he's got the free kick.
Umpire said it was too high. I didn't see it, Pete, but let's have a look at it again.
Oh, not much in that.
No.
But still, he got it. Over the back is Robert Scott. Ablett off the ground. Oh, just missed. So he's looking dangerous, Gary Ablett. 5-5-35 Geelong. Essendon 1-3-9, and they'll really have to get a move on Drew.
8 kicks, 3 marks, Gary Ablett. And the most remarkable thing is, it's the 3rd week in a row Geelong at the MCG. In the 2 previous weeks, Ablett has kicked 14 goals and 7. Today, goalless so far. Williams. Oh, straight onto the chest of Stephen Hocking. He comes out of the centre square and goes as long as he can. Flipped off the hands to Exel. He's over the top of the ball. Umpire puts the whistle away. Ablett again. A snap. What a kick by Ablett.
It's Holden Astra run-out time. Here's 3 big reasons why you should buy the 4-cylinder Holden Astra. Power. The efficient 1.6-litre fuel-injected engine is a winner whichever way you go. Economy. Highway Cycle gives a very economical 6.6 litres per 100 kilometres. Features like tilt-adjustable steering, rear seat folding, stereo AM/FM radio cassette, and radial tune suspension. The end-of-model run-out price on Astra is from just $13,490. See your Holden dealer now.
And when you consider that that was kicked out of that heavy mud patch with a heavy ball, that is a miraculous goal. They're playing great football. There's Michael Long shuffling it out to Hamilton. Anthony Danaher's obviously been shifted. The pressure made him miss-kick. Robert Scott to half forward over the back of the back is Mark Bairstow. Off the ground, that's the way to play it. And he goes after it again, the Geelong champ. This is Mark Bairstow to the pocket. Danaher has been moved to full back. And he must be a very worried man, Kevin Sheedy, as the umpire will come in and throw it up. Stoneham doing some heavy work there on Kevin Walsh. But they're playing brilliant wet weather football.
Well, they already have the highest percentage in the league, even though they're only 4th place on the ladder. If they keep the opponents to a low score, they might boost it today. A chest mark to O'Donnell. Gary O'Donnell straight up the ground. Could be danger here. It was a well-delivered kick to Hamilton. Off to Williams. At least I think it is. Williams wide. Well, Spawn. Good mark. Gets the hand pass away. Long. He ran a long way. To half forward. Plain number 14. Still after it in the long sleeves. Knocked forward by Geelong. Comes to Hughes. Hughes kick in towards the centre. Madden. Kick smothered. Underwood. Underwood again. Hughes for Geelong. Oh, he beats 2 or 3 of them. Malakalis didn't go 10 metres. Off to Morgan. That went 40 metres. Lindner. Scott there to help him. Scott applies the tackle on Walsh. Comes out with the ball. Great play, Robert Scott, the rover. Walsh over the top. And the umpire will ball it up.
Well, Geelong tackling hard and going in. Essendon don't realise what's hit them. Oh, well, maybe they do realise. A very good football side. Hamilton to centre wing, and the mark has been taken by Mark Boss, who never plays a bad game. Over to Hocking. Hocking's caught. Back to Boss. Oh, Boss was flattened after he kicked it towards half forward. Burke couldn't take the mark. Hughes in hard off the ground by Walsh. Very difficult conditions. Williams to Spawn. That'll be a free kick. No, it won't. Umpire calls play on Bairstow again. To half forward, where the mark has been taken by Bill Duckworth.
Duckworth towards the outer side to Danaher, who's had to drift a long way down the ground. Danaher paddles. Vanderhaar does too. Bairstow, been a star. Boss over the ball, in the back from Watson. And Boss gets the free kick. Well, the free kick's now 20-8. Mark Boss, inside half forward. Malakillis! Well, a free kick was paid, not the mark. Grabbed when he didn't have it. And young Malakillis, who's forced his way in this year, a 21-year-old playing just his 5th senior game, is lining up for goal from about 40 metres. And it's not a bad effort for him to cement a regular place when the Cats have been breaking records week after week. Good kick too. Close. A goal.
High drama, non-stop action, big news. This place has it all, but the big news that's got everybody talking right now, g'day Roscoe, is this: Foster's Light. The flavour that made Foster's famous, the great light beer. For those times when light's the right way to go. Agreed? Agreed. New Foster's Light. The best news for beer drinkers since Foster's.
Geelong lead by 6 goals to, and here they go again. There's a fight on behind play, but it's at half forward. Scott, was a bit of a dust-up behind play, but the players eventually disbanded and got on with the game. There's Billy Duckworth, caked in mud. I don't think the Essendon players are appreciating these conditions. There's Burke to Morgan, who's really found his niche at half-back. Oh, well played, Stoneham. Tremendous. Oh, Vanderhaar caught one across the neck. That could be a free kick to Couch. It's shuffled out. A quick kick at the goals. Has been missed. And it's only a behind. 7-6. Plays 1-3. Well, the Bomber bench. Michael Long's been moved to the bench.
And Bailey's also off injured too, Pete. He was struggling a quarter time.
Williams tackled by Scott. Too high. And Williams is battling hard. He's nearly their best player, Darren Williams. Trying hard in defence, as he always does. Walsh, a 40-metre punch on. Steve Hocking has been solid in defence. Kicked away from him, though. Straight in the hands of Boss. Boss to centre wing. This is Darren Morgan. He's hard back on the ground. Lindner onto the left. Brings it to half forward. Oh, who's that? Andrew Hughes, or is it Couch at the bottom of that pack? It is Paul Couch. Very difficult to pick up some of these players. Their numbers covered with mud. Well, it's at half forward. Burke doing a good job against Madden. I think he got over the neck of Simon Madden. The umpire thought so, and it'll be Simon Madden's kick at half back. Have a look at that mud. Towards centre wing. Good mark to Terry Danaher. Two of the veterans combining there. Danaher to half forward. Here's a chance to his brother Anthony Danaher. Onto the left. He's gone short. Oh, beautiful pick-up, Michael Werner. Great play to Bradley Plain. Plain from 25 metres. Hooks it back for a top goal.
So it was a better build-up by Essendon. And the two Danaher brothers combining there. Terry getting it down to Anthony Danaher. And they moved it into the forward line with good direct play, which they haven't been doing. They haven't been able to get any run into their game at all because of the tackling of this Geelong side. This fiercely determined Geelong side have been applying a lot of pressure, and that's Plain kicking his second goal and Essendon's second goal.
Well, they trail by 5-3. They badly needed that. Bradley Plain looking dangerous, but we said earlier, he was born and bred in Melbourne, but moved to Tasmania and played a bit of football down there, and he'd get plenty of mud down in Hobart, I would think.
Well, he should be used to these conditions. Madden wins in the ruck. Stephen Hocking loses it in the tackle. Couch. Scott. The hand pass wide, but to no one. Spawn. It's a Geelong free kick to Scott.
Holding the man.
Robert Scott. To centre half forward. Anderson in front. Hand pass shuffled out by Bairstow. Now here's Bairstow from Stephen Hocking. Wide, Exel. Can't take the mark. Play on, says the umpire. Ablett's there. Exel, good picker. Tackled high. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Essendon's free kick. And the free kicks go to 21-7.
The umpire said he ducked into it.
I think the whole of Geelong's up here today, judging by the noise of the crowd. They've got plenty of support. Melakalis, geez, a good player, this youngster. Van der Haar is the flyer. Oh, pushed the Geelong man in the back, but the umpire said that there was a push to Van der Haar as well. So that must have been the initial one. He's gone wide to Anderson, who's been very quiet. Greg Anderson. He's at half-back flank. He brings it to half-forward. Werner is the man in front. Off the ground by Boss. Straight to Bruns. Bruns to half-forward. Fisted away. Chance now for Harvey. He's lost it. To Hocking. And Scott is there also. Billy Duckworth in after it. And the umpire will throw the ball up at the half-back position for Essendon.
Well, you wouldn't believe that in these conditions you could kick 7 goals, 6 in a quarter and a half of football. Here on Saturday, Richmond won with 5-15. Already Geelong have beaten that. And their record run continues. Won't be a record score, but by gee, they're dominating. There's Stephen Hocking over it, Watson with him. The umpire comes in and will ball it up. Tim Watson, the new captain of Essendon this year, has been a star. Off the ground by Bruns. Short of half forward. Walsh and Stoneham. There's mud in your eye. The umpire will throw that up.
Almost in the centre of the ground. Barry Stoneham has worked hard. Madden beaten by Burke for that one. O'Donnell is grabbed when he didn't have it. So the ball will come back to that centre mud patch area. It will be a free kick to Gary O'Donnell. Was selected in the state squad. Didn't actually get a game in the Victorian State of Origin team. But has had a great year in the back pocket for Essendon. He's gone for the torpedo punt out wide. Oh, beautiful pick up by Danaher. Starting to look a little bit better now, Essendon, as Danaher hooks it back to half forward. Anthony Danaher. His brother, Underwood. Trying to tap it out. There's Couch. Oh, dropped it. And they go again. Steve Hocking shuffles it out. And eventually it's Darcy with the long kick. He received that from Bairstow. Darcy, a long booming kick right out to the half-forward line, and it beats all players over the line.
Stoneham against Walsh. Big knockout there by Spawn, would you believe? Stephen Hocking with Harvey. And the umpire says holding the ball. And he's given the free kick to Melakalis. Now Melakalis, he kicked a 40-metre goal earlier in the quarter. That's a good one too, on the chest of Lindner, on the 50-metre line. He won't make the distance from there. Bruce Lindner hooked it, going for the extra distance. Oh, good mark by Stoneham. Well, can Geelong do anything wrong this season? It's hard to believe, in fact, that they're only 4th place on the ladder and 2 places behind the Bombers. They have the 4 highest scores for the season and the 4 greatest winning margins. Barry Stoneham. I think better left unsaid.
Well, it looks easy, but it is very, very difficult under those conditions. Even those short kicks are hard when you can't get your footing. Right in that pocket, there's Burke doing well in the ruck. It would be one of the best Damien Burke, he'd have to be one of the best tap ruckmen in the league.
Yes, he's done well, particularly today against Simon Madden, coming up against probably, well, I think Simon has been the best ruckman in Australia over the last 3 or 4 seasons.
Well, it's right in front. There's Robert Scott, a quick kick. Has missed, but very quick to pounce on that. He is a very good little rover. 7-7 Geelong, Essendon 2-3.
Paul Vanderhaar to kick in. Playing his one. And the kick drops a little bit short. Dropped by Harvey. Picked up by Lindner. Short pass by Lindner. And the mark's taken by Couch. Couch hurries on with things. A great kick! What a kick! Touched right on the line.
Well, that was a good kick from a standing start. 7-8. And lucky for Essendon that they haven't converted most of their opportunities. That's Duckworth. 10.5 minutes to play on. Lindner marking that wet ball as if it was dry. And they really have a lot of talent.
He's had a great quarter, Bruce Lindner. Been very active on that forward line, moving around. And that's where they're so good, Geelong. There's so much talent on that forward line.
So many options. Lindner, Ablett, Stoneham, Exel now. It looks like now he's a very long kick of a football. Looks like he might be going the torpedo punt kick here. He does. It's not a bad kick, but just wide and through for yet another behind to Bruce Lindner. And Geelong 7-9, 51 Essendon 2-3-15. And there's a Happy Cats supporter there.
Well, Malcolm Blight made Bruce Lindner play the first 6 games this season in the reserves. When everybody said Geelong had the all-star forward line, Lindner was in most people's lineup except the coaches. But he's come back and has been a team player and a good player since he's been back. Terry Danaher gets the hand pass away to Darren Williams. Up towards centre wing. Spawn's been quiet. Beaten to it by Boss. Hand pass Malakellis. Into Bruns. Pulled off his kick, but Bruns comes back again. Well played by Neville Bruns. And he goes in to force a ball up, which was great football by the veteran.
Centre wing, Burke. Well, he got the hit out straight to Watson. Well, no one can get their boot the ball. Now it's socket off the ground. Anthony Danaher. Steve Hocking tapped away from him. Again, this time it's a free kick to Couch. The umpire paying advantage. Over it goes to Bairstow. Bairstow towards goal. But I think that's a bit of a stage by Exel. Umpire awake to it. Vanderhaar has taken the mark, kicks wide and finds Anderson. Anderson at half-back to centre wing. Watson, they can do with a quick goal. Anthony Danaher, caught. Can't get his boot the ball, and they've lost it again, this time to Boss. And Mark Boss brings it back to half-forward. This could be another mark to Lindner. No. Is it a free kick? It is. Umpire said he collected one in the back. Luke Lindner wants to get on with the play. He's got it. Bruce Lindner 50 metres out from goal, goes for the torpedo. Punt Ablett. Back into the goal square. Billy Duckworth pretending to punch it. Now he does. Well, he wasn't. I said pretending to punch it, but I still don't know whether I would have played that against him.
On the first occasion, he definitely was not trying to get rid of the ball. Let's have a look at it again. Billy dives on it. There he is, just trying to hit it to himself.
Yes.
He was being held, and I think it was the right decision.
Well, this is Barry Stoneham from right in front, 15 metres out. He's hooked it slightly, but I think it's a goal. Yes.
So, what's with the Lyland brothers? What happened to the wagon?
The Jackaroo was around the same price. With everything. Fuel injection, power steering, automatic if you want it.
Well, what are you going to do with the four-wheel drive?
Kakadu, Fraser Island. Give you a drive?
Yeah, wouldn't mind.
This is now a 42-point lead, a huge advantage in these conditions to the Cats. Essendon get a free kick out of this, and it'll come back to Kieran Spawn, who's been pretty quiet so far for the Bombers. Spawn up towards half-forward. Terry Danaher, no mark. Hand pass comes out wide. Oh, pick out of the mud by Bruns. Shrugs a tackle. Gets the hand pass away to to Boss. Centre of the ground and a chest mark to Bairstow. And Mark Bairstow continues his great form for the season. Puts it very wide, out into Dreyer going. Stoneham tunnels it, only as far as Hamilton. Stoneham applies the tackle. Ball comes free. Ablett picks up, touches down. It's not a bouncing day. Gary Ablett in front of goals, but no great distance. Underwood gets it to Watson. Clears for the Bombers. Duckworth near the boundary line at half-back flank. Well, he really had to give that plenty to get it over to Izard. He's caught in a tackle. Play on, says the umpire. Look at the Cats tackling. Izard tunnels it. Geelong got the ball out. Well, over about a decade, they've said Geelong have had handbags. Well, they've got bricks in their bags this year.
Oh, I agree with you. Their tackling is tremendous. It's getting no easy kicks, Essendon. There's a free kick at the bounce. Are they playing the advantage? No. It will go back to Damien Burke, I would think, or is it Stoneham? Let's have a look at Stoneham. Harry Stoneham relieves Damien Burke for some ruck work. It's very handy too. They've got some talent. There's Malakalis, but in the meantime it was a free kick to Simon Madden, that centre half back. It's mud splattered Simon Madden. It's gone wide. Billy Duckworth. Tim Watson to half forward. Now Terry Danaher hotly pressing him with Schultz. I think he got into his back. And it's a free kick, and I think there seem to be more Geelong supporters here today than Essendon. Over the back was Bruns, but a good mark to Andrew Underwood in the centre of the ground. Very strong player. He's got the very strong build too. Off the side of the boot. Here's a chance. Spawn couldn't take the mark. Werner went without it. Hocking in after it. And I think he meant business then, Gary Hocking.
I think he always means business. He's a tough customer. Schultz wins the tap. Comes away to Rogers. Malcolm Blight knew something about Andrew Rogers from Woodville days. Hand pass in. Underwood to Watson. Watson still with it. His kick goes backwards though. Taken by Scott. Pops over the hand pass. Great football. Couch. Buried. Comes to Bruns. Bruns puts it out in open spaces. Billy Brownless with a bit of time. Dodges once. Goes for goal. Oh, then he tried to beat a man when he shouldn't have. That should have been holding the ball against Brownless, but the umpire will ball it up.
Yes, he did well there to get around in the first instance, but then he should have handballed it over the top.
And I think it was Ablett running in with a nice man to handball too. Here's Geelong again. It's Buse. And the umpire said too high on Andrew Buse. A trip, was it? The umpire said a trip. So towards full for all. Ablett was the flyer. Walsh
comes out towards the 50. Lindner caught high, and Bruce Lindner will get the free kick. Now a couple of times today we've seen Lindner go for the torpedo punt, and well, he's got a bit of green grass out here, and from 50 metres he could nearly bring up a goal with a torpedo. Drop punt, goal square job. Rushed through by Duckworth for a behind. Huge lead here, 43 points to Geelong. And Essendon, who occasionally this season have made a slow start, but have come from behind to win, they'll need to be brilliant to come back from here already. Comes to the back. Spawn. Kick pulls up in the mud. Boss beat a couple of them. Beautifully played by Terry Danaher. High kick. Play on, says the umpire. Was touched off the boot. Watson. Top play by Tim Watson. One out is... Oh, the pass dropped a bit short to Darcy, who'll take a free kick just as Plain was running into goal.
He must be quick, Darcy, because young Werner is a top man as far as pace is concerned. He beat him to that ball. A great effort by Darcy. Not that you'd recognise him from that shot then. Over the back. Darren Williams has been trying very hard. Anderson couldn't take the mark. He's lying over the ball now. He taps it on. Oh, good skills by Buse. Andrew Buse onto the left to find Bruns, and he's got a loose man. Oh, he went the wrong way. Stoneham was loose on his left. To half forward, it's fisted away. Scott O'Donnell shoved in the back, Gary O'Donnell. And It will come back to half-back. A free kick to Gary O'Donnell. And great performance this by the Cats.
Geelong have added 3 goals this quarter, 3 goals to 1. Danaher caught in a good tackle by Rogers. The umpire said it was in the back. And the free kick goes to the former skipper. He held the captaincy for 6 years before giving it over this year to Tim Watson. And it'll come back to Terry Danaher. What a gift he was from South Melbourne. Danaher's kick to half forward. Big Pack comes to the front. There's Plain. And the umpire will ball this up. Well, the huge crowd that's turned up has had to battle with the traffic down the Geelong Road. Very little parking outside the MCG because of the condition of the parking area. Michael Long a bit quiet. Comes out to Williams. High kick to half forward. Danaher, no, not quite. Anderson, well played to spin out of trouble. Izard near the boundary line. Oh, great smother. I'll tell you who it is in a minute when I can find out. It's Andrew Rogers. I couldn't see him. Looks like Al Jolson.
And Andrew Rogers would be loving this. Dumped by Essendon. All set to go back to South Australia, and Malcolm Blight gave him a chance at Geelong. There's Anderson trying to get his boot the ball, shuffled out back towards the boundary line, and in fact over it. And I think that might have been Rogers again. There he is, Andrew Rogers, number 20, 8-10, plays 2-3 Madden, trying to tap it. Here's a chance. Watson on the right foot, hooks it back, and I think that's a goal. No, or a mark to Werner. Must have marked it right on the line, and they certainly do need a goal. This young player is going to be an excellent player in the future. He kicks from right in front and goes.
Next time you change your oil, trade up to BP Visco 2000, because a change of oil could change your image. Enter the BP Visco 2000 competition. See a participating BP service station now, and you could win a great new Nissan Exa. Hey, a Nissan Exa. BP, on the move.
In the closing stages of the first half, an important goal for Essendon. Madden wins in the middle. Underwood, whistle's gone. Geelong free kick, push in the back, and it'll be taken by Neville Bruns. In his 30s, been around for a long time. Kicks about 25 to 30 metres. Brownless slides it across to Malakellus. And the umpire will ball it up, still in the centre square, short of half forward for the Cats. It's 8-10 to 3 goals 3. 20 seconds left to half-time. Stoneham wins an important tap. Danaher's kick smothered. Geelong a chance. Scott off the left boot. Hughes is there. Well done by Hamilton. And Watson bursting through the pack. Tim Watson puts the kick wide, and that'll be the end of the scoring for the half. Comes to Spawn. Spawn's kick to centre wing. Boss can't take the mark. But a brilliant first quarter in conditions which don't suit high scoring. Geelong 8 goals 10, 58. Essendon 3-3, 21.
Well, that was a brilliant half of football under very difficult conditions. There's one of the catalysts of the Geelong side. The little men have been far too good. Billy Brownless there. That was Robert Scott a moment ago, but they've just got so many good players. There's Darren Williams, probably Essendon's best player. Paul Couch, Robert Scott, Gary Ablett, Mark Bairstow, you could name them. Linda in that quarter. Just great players, and their back line through Boss. And at fullback, well, he hasn't had a lot to do down there, Tim Darcy, but they've just had great players all over the ground, and they're outclassed Essendon. The score here at the MCG at half-time in a great wet weather exhibition. Geelong 8-10, 58, are leading Essendon 3-3, 21.
Horse racing is news as it happens. And the biggest news stories happen right here.
The big news right now is this. Foster's Light. G'day, Pete. How you doing, Lloyd? All right? The flavour that made Foster's famous in a great light beer. Just 2.5 if you've got to drive. What do you reckon, guys? New Foster's Light. Best news for beer drinkers since Foster's.
It's Holden Astra run-out time. Here's 3 big reasons why you should buy the 4-cylinder Holden Astra. Power. The efficient 1.6-litre fuel-injected engine is a winner whichever way you go. Economy. Highway cycle gives a very economical 6.6 litres per 100 kilometres. Features like tilt-adjustable steering, rear seat folding, stereo AM/FM radio cassette and radial tune suspension. The end-of-model run-out price on Astra is from just $13,490. See your Holden dealer now.
First, there was the butter era. Then, the polyunsaturated margarine era. Now there's the era of better eating, polyunsaturated salt-reduced era, with only half the fat of butter or margarine, but all the taste. Era is a deliciously tasty blend of polyunsaturated oils and buttermilk. Era, all the taste, half the fat, and low in cholesterol.
I should have known better than to try another brand. The results are never what they promise. There's such a variety of fabric softeners available today. And if you're like me, you've always got your eye out for a product that can deliver what it promises at a reasonable price. Campbell's Fluffy has always been my choice as the quality alternative. With a range of fragrances like lavender, jasmine, lemon and apple blossom, Fluffy offers all that I need in a fabric softener at the right price. From now on, Fluffy stays on my shopping list. Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
What's for sweets? I don't know. Something boring, I suppose.
Same old thing.
Day in, day out. When's your mum gonna find out? What's for sweets? Dairyvale. What's for sweets?
Dairyvale custard.
What's for sweets? Dairyvale. What's for sweets? Dairyvale custard.
Tuesday on Minder.
You'll be needing help then, won't you?
Big-hearted Arthur lands Terry right in it.
Protection? That's a very naughty word. Wait, with Terry, you're dealing with an artist.
Can he save a frightened shopkeeper from a standover man?
You want more than money. Like what? My daughter.
Or is someone not telling the whole truth?
I can be as crafty as an old Bengal tiger. I mean, I only have your interests at heart.
What's Terry think of it?
You're a load of puss.
Tuesday, 9:30 on 7.
Half-time at the MCG, Geelong 8-10-58 leading Essendon 3-3-21. In that quarter, the Cats kicked 3 goals, 7, 10 scoring shots to 2. Essendon 2 straight goals. 2 goals kicked by Gavin Exall for Geelong and 2 by Bradley Plain of Essendon.
Andrew Bewes may be small in stature but has a great heart. The little go-getter has been honoured many times with interstate selection, and those in power at Geelong elevated him to acting captain during the 1987 season. He joined the Cats from North Geelong in '82 and has held down positions on the ball and in the back line with distinction. Over the years, the number 27 has demonstrated tremendous courage, and new coach Malcolm Blight will be demanding such efforts again.
Well, we thought Geelong were pretty good this year, but today, Bernie, they've proved it in the wet.
They have, Drew. It's been a very impressive performance by Geelong, and Andrew Bewes has been one of the players that's been, well, part of the winning smaller brigade of players at ground level where it is very necessary to win today. Well, I think Geelong are just starting now, Peter, to realise that they are a side that can win the premiership. That's the type of spirit they are playing with. You look at Bruns, typifies at 30 years of age, but he's done all the hard things today.
And even their big men, Stoneham and Burke, are chasing and tackling, and not only their small men and medium-sized players, and they're playing with enormous confidence. And Malcolm Blight, I think, drew the feature of their play. We know they've had enormous skill. They've had that for years, but their tackling has just been magnificent.
Malcolm Blight's given them an iron will this year, hasn't he?
I'll say he has, and they've been criticised. You mentioned the handbags, and the jokes are still around about Geelong being the handbag team. They're not this year. You can't make any joke about them. Their players been great.
It's something that Robert Walls used to say. He called it the 1%ers. It was the chasing, the tackling, the smothering, the things that, you know, largely go unnoticed, and that's the things that Geelong are doing this year so much better than they have done in previous years.
And in wet conditions, you can still show your skill. If you play in front and you tackle and you harass and chase.
That's quite true, and their forward line is just so talented. When you think of all your options, you've got Exall and Lindner and Stoneham and Ablett roving down from the wing, and those players are showing their skill out there today, and they're really a class above Essendon at the moment.
Well, today we won't be taking another look at Holden's greatest 25 since 1965. We showed you that earlier this weekend. What we might do is recap on the players that we've had so far in the list. These are the all-time greats in the last quarter of a century. Number 25 was last year's Brownlow medalist Gerard Healy. Then we worked through Kevin Murray, Dermot Brereton, out suspended at the moment, another Brownlow medalist Gary Dempsey, Simon Madden, who's playing here today, Michael Tuck, the veteran, who's played most games of anybody still currently playing the game, Keith Gregg, who won 2 Brownlows, Francis Burke, number 18, Robert Flower, who never won a club best and fairest, 17 in the list, Peter Knights, 16, and Wayne Schimmelbusch we looked at earlier this weekend. And just a reminder that next week we'll reveal number 14 in the list as we count down. Today on this Monday public holiday, the top 4 teams in the competition are in action. We have 2 of them here today. The other 2 are at Princes Park. Last year's grand finalists, Melbourne and Hawthorn. We'll be taking a report from that ground after this.
Hidden deep within the cabins of your local Kmart, the phantom of the stocktake hatches his daring plots. Year after year, this friend of the consumer, this unknown champion of the shopper, slashes prices even further than Kmart have planned, and all on top brands. Bigger savings right throughout the store on the products you want to buy. They don't know what he's doing to Kmart stocktake prices, but you can find out starting tomorrow at your local Kmart. The phantom makes a Kmart stocktake a fantastic stocktake. Where will he strike next?
Don't eat that.
But there isn't any Sultana brand.
It's funny, I'm sure I bought some.
I can't believe one person can make so much noise.
Me?
Your brother. 5:30. What?
Michael, have you cleaned your teeth?
Mum didn't buy any Sultana brand.
What?
You haven't seen the Sultana brand?
Perhaps Dad will catch us some fish.
He'll catch it when he gets home.
A chance.
They probably think I'm still in bed, like the phantom I was.
Yeah, the ghost who walks.
Kellogg's Sultana brand. Taste that does your family good.
I think I became overweight from just having too much free time at home, too bored, so it was easy just to eat. Yes, you're depressed and you just don't stop eating and you think, tomorrow I'll start, and tomorrow never gets there. It took 10 years to find Jenny Craig because I never really convinced myself that I had a weight problem. It was only my husband and I talking that we decided, gee, go for Jenny Craig. She seems to achieve results, so we went for Jenny Craig, and I'm glad I did.
As you can see, our program works. At Jenny Craig Weight Loss Centers, we help you lose weight and teach you what you need to know to keep it off. We've helped thousands and thousands of people lose weight, and we'd like to help you too.
If you call Jenny Craig today, you can lose all the weight you want for the special price of just $185. This is the best value weight loss program ever, so why not call today?
You can't have these for $9.99, but the Iliad has a 3-course lunch or dinner special for only $9.99. Don't be fooled. This is the genuine and original 3-course, yes, 3-course $9.99 lunch or dinner at the Iliad.
Choose from entrees, main courses and desserts.
And how do all these people feel about the 3-course meal?
It's unbelievable!
See you at the Iliad!
I should have known better than to try another brand. The results are never what they promise. There's such a variety of fabric softeners available today. And if you're like me, you've always got your eye out for a product that can deliver what it promises at a reasonable price. Campbell's Fluffy has always been my choice as the quality alternative. With a range of fragrances like lavender, jasmine, lemon and apple blossom, Fluffy offers all that I need in a fabric softener at the right price. From now on, Fluffy stays on my shopping list. Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
Last year's grand finalists, Hawthorn and Melbourne, playing today at Princes Park. And to bring us up to date with what's been happening, here's Peter Landy.
Thank you, Drew. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, in a replay of the grand final, Melbourne at the moment leading by 13 points. We have had a very, very slow game of football, some very heavy conditions, much the same as at the MCG, but Melbourne handling them much better than Hawthorn. Although a controversial umpiring decision probably cost Hawthorn a goal in the second quarter when Gary Buckenara took a mark in front that was not allowed. Despite that, Melbourne handling the conditions much better, and they lead by 13 points, 6-4 to 4-3 at half-time. Let's see some highlights of a very, very wet and muddy game of football.
Picked up by Pritchard. Pritchard's kick into the goal square. Dunstall can't mark. Runs through to his teammate Morrissey, which didn't help their cause. Morrissey gets the hand pass out. Dunstall
Snapshot, brilliant. And goals. And it does drop short. O'Dwyer read it superbly. Newport's kick won't travel the required distance for a mark. That's socket off the ground, and that's a goal. O'Dwyer wins it well. Beveridge gets his kick. That's an excellent goal, kick by Beveridge. Great stuff from the Demons. It's time to the members' stand side. Steins again. Throws it out. Picked up by Stretch. He has got a hand to it. Howard, short kick. Here's another chance for Spalding. Gives it to Beveridge for his second goal. Doesn't get a kick at it. Over to Healy for his third. And he's got his third. Great play, Demons.
Greg Healy, the leading goal kicker in the match to date, 13 points. Ross Glendinning and Ian Robertson, is that a match-winning lead?
Well, they got away to such a good start, Peter, and that I think that stood them in good stead. And with Greg Healy kicking those 2 goals in this second quarter, also their younger players have given them far more zip in, haven't they? They've managed to find a bit more space and be more creative with their disposal.
Well, they've been tremendous, Ross. I think the key is their discipline, Melbourne. They seem to be able to hunt in packs, and their back line is tremendous. I mean, Johnson reads the play so well coming out of defence, and we've mentioned in the first half a lot of Stephen Phoebe, an underrated player who's played maybe 15 games so far, and has had probably, what, 20 possessions maybe in that first half.
Has Lyon made a difference on the forward line, Ross?
Well, he's just taken another good player away from Hawthorn in McGuinness, and I also thought that the younger players of Melbourne, Beveridge, Tingay and Howard, have been great contributors.
OK, well, there it is at half-time. Melbourne leading by 13 points in a pretty interesting game here at Princes Park.
Thank you, Peter. Well, some network stations haven't seen our plays of the month. We have a bit of fun with these edited highlights of the various plays during a particular month. Later on, we'll be looking at last month, but let's take you back to the plays of the month for April.
Calling Tony Antrobus. Tony, could we please begin the plays of the month with the most helpful spectator of April? Hey, Rod, if you want the ball, then why not go and get it yourself? West Coast Eagles' Guy McKenna decided that he would rather pass his boot instead of the ball to Troy Ugle. Now, which one of these is lost? Excuse me, Constable, but I think that your horse is over there. Richmond's Michael Mitchell displayed his unique, if not unusual, football talents in April, firstly with this excellent soccer header, and then by executing this extraordinary rugby flick pass. Potato farmer Danny Frawley spent most of the month demonstrating just how he plants his crops, while Melbourne's Brian Wilson once again demonstrated his remarkable acting talents. The most forgettable kick-out of the month belonged to John Manton. Oh, John, this error resulted in a free kick and a goal to Hawthorn's Jason Dunstall. April produced some great aerial work, as proved by St Kilda wizard Nicky Winmar. Hawk spearhead Jason Dunstall also pulled down a big grab, as did Tiger big man David Honeybun at the MCG. However, great marks weren't just taken by the players. Check out this chest mark taken at the whacker by this spectator. Now that's how you do it, Shane. Not to be outdone, even the field umpire at the SCG got into the act. But Coach Cole Kinnear was not impressed and was quick to put the man in white in his place. Tiger Dale Waitman was on the wrong end of this shirt front, courtesy of Merv Neagle. While over at Fitzroy, they still haven't learnt who the opposition is. To the goal of the month, and Richmond's Peter Wilson receives the hand pass from Justin Pickering on centre wing and then takes 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces, crosses the 50-metre line and kicks a great team-lifting goal. And finally, we turn to the most unusual incident of April. It happened at Windy Hill when the field umpire was accidentally felled while trying to stop a melee. You know, it's amazing what some people will do just to make the plays of the month. Don't you agree, sir? Sir?
Sandy Roberts taking a quizzical look at football the way we've seen it in 1989. And later on this afternoon, we'll be taking a look at plays of the month for the month of May. Well, last week we reached round 10. We're halfway through, or just about to complete round 11 today, which will be the halfway mark of the season. Let's take a look at some individual player statistics up to and including round 10. And the leading possession winners in the competition, the Victorian captain Greg Williams of Sydney with 272, with a bit of a lead over Scott McIver of Brisbane and Terry Wallace of Footscray. In the list of kicks, Gary Ablett, who's on show here today, leads the list with 173 from his teammate Mark Bairstow and a bit of a break to Johnny Platten. Then on to handballs, and Greg Williams leads here by an absolute country kilometre, 140 to 117, with Tim Watson back in second place. Then to the marks, and Stuart Lowe, the man I think with the biggest hands in VFL football, has 97, leading from Stephen Kernahan. Tony Lockett has slipped back, having missed the last couple of weeks through suspension. Jason Dunstall also up there. And tackling, which on a day like today we see plenty of tackling in these muddy conditions. Robert Di Domenico of Hawthorn leads teammate Andy Collins, who's the state back pocket player, 32 to 21, and back to Matthew Hogg of Footscray with 29. And the goal kickers, and even though Lockett has missed the last couple of rounds, he leads by a long way with a total of 70. Jason Dunstall, a chance to add to his list today at Princes Park. He has 56, and they're the only two past half a century at this stage. Well, we've seen a top first half display here by the rampaging Cats here at the MCG, and we'll be back with the second half action in a moment.
I should have known better than to try another brand. The results are never what they promise. There's such a variety of fabric softeners available today. And if you're like me, you've always got your eye out for a product that can deliver what it promises at a reasonable price. Campbell's Fluffy has always been my choice as the quality alternative. With a range of fragrances like lavender, jasmine, lemon and apple blossom, Fluffy offers all that I need in a fabric softener at the right price. From now on, Fluffy stays on my shopping list. Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
The simplest way to control perspiration is not to exert yourself. Almost as simple as using Rexona's antiperspirant pump spray. A simple pump spray is a fine mist of effective protection. Just aim, press, and... Rexona antiperspirant pump spray. It simply won't let you down.
This man is a highly qualified, very experienced chef. His specialty is the rich cuisine of northern India. He does a marvellous chicken punjab, wonderful beef vindaloo, lamb masala, and a beef akura you simply must try. All absolutely authentic to their region, and all within your reach, because this man works for Punjab Cuisine, providing authentic northern Indian dishes to your taste in spiciness. All you have to add are the right accompaniments. Add some spice to your life with Punjab, authentic Indian cuisine.
There are times when we all need a little extra love and care. It could be because of illness or just the passing of time. We all know how the pressures of today's lifestyle take a heavy toll on our health. That's why a place like Craigmore Supportive Care is so reassuring. You can live here with dignity and confidence, knowing you're being well cared for. There's no incoming fee, and the pension covers all living costs. Craigmore cares for our independence.
Toasted muesli's full of fat. Who's fat? Kellogg's Just Right has 10 times less fat than toasted muesli. 10 times? In your wheat flakes, bran, rolled oats, puffed rye, sultanas. And less fat. Morning! Ready for a little jog, are we?
With 10 times less fat, Kellogg's Just Right is not too heavy, not too light.
In a hurry or time to relax? Whenever you're in the city, Renaissance Tower is just the place for a tasty bite to eat. You'll be tempted. Our delicious array of food is just the way you like it. Hot and cold selections, light snacks, healthy seafoods, assorted salads, iced confectionery, all finely prepared for your enjoyment. We cater for everyone, and functions of any kind are a specialty. Come up and join us. We're on top of the world with a great new look and panoramic views that take your breath away. Renaissance Tower, a top place to meet your friends.
Welcome back to the MCG, and the Cats 8-10 leading the Bombers 3 goals 3, a margin of 37 points in these conditions at half-time. Burke wins the tap in the middle, scooped out of the mud by Watson. All the Bombers have come out in new gear, and I think they've all had a shower as well. It won't last long. Spawn over the ball. And a few of the Cats with new jumpers as well. This one kicked forward by Long, but taken on the chest by Andrew Rogers. Rogers behind halfback. Schultz, good mark.
Michael Schultz has been well on top at centre halfback, but a pretty easy day for Backman, really. There's his opposite centre halfback in Walsh taking that mark. Now, Walsh kicked it straight to Bruns. The ball has followed Neville Bruns all day, mainly because he knows exactly where to get. A very experienced player. There's Ablett flying. Couldn't take the mark. Every time he goes near it, the crowd roars in delight. Gary Hocking's been an excellent player. Onto the left, towards half forward. This is Mark Harvey. You can see he's pretty clean. Drew said they've all had a shower. Bradley Plain. Oh, shrugged the tackle beautifully. What they could do with is a couple of very quick goals. Is that a mark for Werner? It is. Now Werner will have to kick from about 52 metres.
There's much better build-up here by Essendon. They found a little bit of space. They haven't had much to work in with the pressure that's been applied by Geelong.
Now he's going for the torpedo punt. Now that is bad football. I might have mentioned that early in the game. You can't make the distance from there, Bernie, so why not set it up with a drop punt for your forwards?
That's right, Pete. It's just not percentage play. And definitely he's kicking from about the 50-metre mark. Very little chance of kicking a goal from there, so he's better to kick a drop punt and put it in front of goal.
Darren Morgan takes the free kick to the 50-metre line. Ablett climbed all over the pack, didn't mark. Gary Hocking up to the centre of the ground. He was bowled over after he got rid of the kick. It's a relayed free kick up the ground to be taken by Mark Bairstow, who again was a star in the first half. To half forward. Lindner at the back applying a tackle. Williams leaves it for Hamilton. Hand pass under pressure. Essendon always get possessions under pressure. Watson, good bump by Hocking, and a soccer off the ground, unfortunately, goes out of bounds off the boot of Ablett.
Penalty kick is towards half forward. Kieran Spawn loped after that one, and I think he was quite happy to see the ball knocked over the line. Kieran Spawn from South Australia to Essendon this year. Been a great battle in the ruck. Damien Burke and Simon Madden. Let's see who gets this one. Well, Madden actually tapped that one down to Plain. Oh, Gary Hocking did the hard work out to Rogers. Rogers to half forward. Stoneham is there. Solid bump on Williams. But again, the ball over the line. Dean Bailey, he was suffering an injury. What's the report? Michael Roberts.
I just spoke to the Essendon doctor. He hasn't even ventured out onto the ground. He won't take any further part. It's a right leg.
Hocking fumbled there, allowing Duckworth in to hand pass to Watson. Watson's kick to half forward. Anderson, good chest mark. Long way from goal. Anderson off the left boot for Werner. Oh, great mark. Was taken by Schultz, dropping in front of Terry Danaher. Schultz away with the hand pass to Boss. Good distance with that kick. Ablett, no mark. Free kick was going to be paid. Advantage to Williams. Up to full forward again. Thumped out of there by the Geelong defence. Werner, a good spin out of trouble, but he missed with the hand pass. Izard over his head. Chopped off by Schultz. Kick doesn't get out of the danger area. Bruns pulled off his kick. Scooped off the ground by Plain. Chance here for the Bombers. Underwood. Danaher it was. No mark. And it comes to Morgan.
Darren Morgan. Oh, nice kick too. Let's see the pace of Ablett. Yes, there he goes. Oh, he gets flattened. Hip and shoulder. It was fair. Madden to Walsh. Walsh wide. Darren Morgan again does the sensible thing and heads for the line. This is at half forward. The Geelong bench. Billy Brownless, and there's a pretty good player to be sitting on the bench. Mark Yates.
Madden palms down, but intercepted by Morgan, who's had a good quarter so far. Hughes caught in the tackle. Umpire let him get away with the hand pass, which goes out of bounds. And I think, Andrew Hughes, you are guilty.
Well, the Bomber bench was David Johnston on interchange. We've already spoke about Bailey. Probably won't play in this match again. Oh, Watson, beautifully done, and the Essendon crowd roar. Werner was the flyer. Kicked away out of defence by Rogers. Or was it Boss? I think it was Boss. O'Donnell. A hurried kick towards the pocket. And it beats all players over the line about 30 metres around from the Essendon goal. But goal's hard to come by. And the throw in. Anthony Danaher was the Essendon player who went for it. Gary Hocking to Mark Boss again. That quick kick floats to half back, fisted away by Gary O'Donnell, and again it'll be a throw in.
O'Donnell playing well on Scott at the moment. Kevin Sheedy looking concerned. His team's second on the ladder, but likely to drop a place or two. Long. Rogers. Thumped up the ground by Burke. It comes to Duckworth. Defenders have come well up the ground. Will he throw it out? The umpire said yes. Play on, he says now. Bairstow. Stoneham put down Walsh. Well played by Stoneham. He ran a long way.
That was
centering kick. Knocked out of the air by Vanderhaar. It comes to Malakellus. Across the face of goal. Ball stays in. Good tackle applied. It comes Geelong's way. Exel hooks back. Big chance. Still in front of goals for the Cats. And that now will be a ball up.
Well, I was about to say, Drew, when Stoneham was running down this wing, it was amazing. Kevin Walsh picked up a handful of mud and just turfed it at him.
We saw a shot of Malcolm Blight. I think he'd be pretty pleased with the performance of his side. It's in front of the Geelong goal. This looks like rugby tactics. Now, who was that at the base of the pack take? It's little Andrew Buse. I always felt when he was playing in the back pocket, he seems to be finding a bit of humour in this game. Just like the mud. I always thought when he was in the back pocket he was too good. Much better on the ball. There's the mark. Harvey out to Bairstow for Geelong. Tries to tap it on Bairstow. Malakellus again. Back it comes to Stephen Hocking. He's tackled. Good enough to get in the hand pass. It's wide to Michael Long. To Alan Izard. From half back, Izard brings it around the outer wing. Kicked away by Bradley Plain. And again, it is over the line. Halfway between centre wing and half forward for the Cats.
The ruckman gallop after this one. Don't quite make it. Terry Danaher wins. It comes to Malakellus. His high kick to half forward. Stoneham contesting every issue. Well played. Bairstow goes back with his hand pass to Gary Hocking. Ducked his head. Umpire said holding a ball. And the free kick to Andrew Underwood.
Underwood, a very tough tackler. Really hits hard, and he's got the build to hurt a player. It's Couch and the Essendon player. Well, we can only see his back view. Now, he's battled hard, Bernie, all day, Darren Williams.
Yes, they haven't had many winners, Essendon, but Williams has put in.
Watson. Ball back with Watson. Umpire will throw it in. The two umpires. Well, the umpire about Chris Mitchell and Brian Sheehan. That was Brian Sheehan throwing the ball up. Almost in centre wing. Izard has thrown off the ball. Here's Hocking. Gary Hocking, a beautiful pick-up. He sprints to half forward onto the left foot. Ablett waits for it. Tries to handball it back. He does so, or was it out of bounds? It was out. Ablett took the ball over the line, so the boundary ump will throw it in.
He's doing great team things this year, Gary Ablett. The remarkable thing is he's kicked only one goal today. 2 weeks ago he kicked a club record and an MCG record, 14 goals against Richmond. Bairstow to full forward, knocked out by Vanderhaar. Off the ground by Long. Across the half-back line by Spawn, and again by Spawn, and he's looking for the boundary line and finds it.
Well, this is in front of the Melbourne members stand, and, well, it's going to be a very difficult task. Mark Yates warming up, Billy Brownless in the background. There's Bruns, who's had a great day. Burke, poor hip and shoulder. Oh, that was hard. I think that hurt him from Simon Madden. The kick is by Duckworth out wide, and Burke is down, and he's had broken ribs this year. I wonder if he's copped it again in the ribs. It's in front of the goal. There's Damien Burke, and that really did hurt. He was left wide open, and that'd be a... Well, let's hope it's not a rib injury. It might have just winded him briefly. There's Stoneham to Ablett. Ablett a quick kick, a push out. Oh, the umpire let it go. Exel kicks a goal. Yes, I think it's a goal.
It doesn't have to be Sunday to enjoy a McCain roast dinner for one.
2, 4, 6, 8. Bock in, don't wait.
Ah, McCain, you've done it again.
No wonder Keith Bowden's backing Westinghouse.
You keep coming back.
Westinghouse fridges and side-by-side fridge freezers. Big on features, big on value. Keith Bowden Electrical, South Road, St Mary's.
You keep coming back.
We'll be back.
It's gone off the ground, replaced by Billy Brownless. Couch out of the middle, chopped off by Harvey. The toe poke up the ground to Anthony Danaher. Gavin Exel has kicked 3 goals, leading goal scorer on the ground. Schultz, a good defender. Don't underestimate the Geelong defence, despite the fact the attack gets all the credit. Now what's happened here? The umpire's paid a free kick Essendon's way.
Yeah, shepherding out, he's indicated. Against Stoneham on Simon Madden.
Well, Simon Madden was the one who put Damien Burke down. It seems that Burke has trouble with the Madden brothers. He's had a couple of well-publicised incidents with Justin Madden. Kicked by Simon Madden, short of full forward. Couch, or did he go in hard that time? And the umpire will ball it up. Whew.
Yes.
Now, Burke off the ground. Michael Roberts?
Well, Damien Burke just had the stuffing knocked out of him by Madden, and they've just taken him off for a breather.
Yes, I'd say it looked like it was slightly winded, but he has had those broken ribs, which was a worry. Hocking, centre wing, Harvey on Lindner. That'll be a great duel. Underwood shuffles it back to Watson. Watson's gone wide. He's found Izzard. He's about 50 metres out from goal, though, Alan Izzard, and on the boundary. They're finding goals very, very difficult to come by, the Bombers. Izzard sets it up. That's a good kick. And Danaher sensibly waits over the back. There's Werner trying to tap it on. Hocking boots it off the ground. And, in fact, he puts it through for a behind to Essendon. But they need goals, and they need them quickly. 3-4 the Bombers. Geelong 9-10.
Bombers the best, chuck out the rest. Well, Essendon have got a lot of improving to do to be the best here today. Tim Darcy, not too sure. Quite a dry goal square down that end of the ground, which is surprising, which is though the cricket covers have been on. Oh, what a kick from firm footing. Walsh punches to the front. Couch in there again, pulled off the ball when he didn't have it. Umpire puts the whistle away. Hand pass blocked by Gary Hocking. He gets it to Lindner. The umpire waited a long time for the whistle then. Eventually he's going to throw it in the air just outside 50.
Essendon looking better in this quarter. I certainly think they're putting in a much better effort. And they wouldn't want to relax Geelong. Anderson, although that's a terrific start. Izzard, Danaher, a quick kick down towards the forward line. Oh, good play by Tim Darcy. Take it away straight to Harvey. He's pushed in the chest, and that's legitimate. Good umpiring to allow that to go. Robert Scott. Well, it was intended for Hocking. The tackle is on Walsh. O'Donnell goes in to lend him a hand. Walsh off the ground, kicks it wide, and that will be a throw-in on centre wing.
Gee, he played it well then, Kevin Walsh, the former state centre half back. And won the Tassie medal in the state game as well. Madden wins the tap. Gary Hocking. Back at half-back flank. Across the ground. Danger. Oh, he was helped out there by teammate Morgan, but just in time. Darren Morgan switches it back to the outer side. Scott the rover. Well, he took a couple of paces to go on with it, but now goes back for a deliberate kick. Infield he goes. Gary Hocking can't shrug the tackle. Beauty. Holding the ball. Second time this quarter Hocking's been pinged.
Well, he's a great tackler, Andrew Underwood. He's got the strong body and he goes in hard. Watson's having a good quarter. Watson to the pocket and he's hard on his own again. They're making space, Essendon, but it's not down the corridor. It's out wide to the flanks, and it takes another kick to get it in front of goal. Now the short one is on. It's a bad kick by Izzard. Malakalis was there. He's a goer. In after it, Mark Boss. Great game by Boss. Good smother by Anderson. Well done, Tim Watson. Beautiful skills, Watson. To Underwood. To Williams, who's dropped the sitter. Darren Williams, it went straight to his hands. And I'm sure the umpire will throw this one up at half forward for Essendon.
Once again, Peter, they've gone out to the pocket again, rather than going directly towards goal. And in these conditions, it's very important to go straight along the corridor where there's there's less chance of losing possession.
Ball goes out of play again. In this quarter, Geelong have kicked 1 goal and Essendon 1 behind. And Essendon's 1 behind was rushed through. Neither ruckman. The umpire will ball it up again. Just over 10 minutes to go to three-quarter time. And a difference of 42 points Huge crowd at the MCG. Anthony Danaher has been a superb fullback this year, but in the last couple of games has been moved up the ground.
Yes, against Fitzroy last week he had trouble with Mark Scott and was moved and did well at full forward. There's Simon Madden, a big punch away. Terry Danaher. Oh, that's a free kick for in the back. Paul Couch put his body in. She's gone in hard, Paul Couch. Very fit this year, working as a garber down in Geelong. Malakalis will go for the hand pass. That's good football to Brownless. Brownless is a prodigious kick, but he's gone for the short one to Gavin Exel. He's got it. Hooks it back. Oh, the marker's dropped down there in the pocket. Long. Taps it back to Hamilton. Hamilton to Van der Haar. Back to Walsh. And Walsh kicks it out. Now he's trying to claim the Geelong player put it out of bounds on the full, Kevin Walsh. And the boundary will throw it in at the 50-metre line. And we're in Geelong's forward zone.
Stoneham beats Madden. Comes to Gary Hocking. Bairstow, centering kick. Brownless. Well, he'll be kicking from 50 metres. And he practices by kicking footballs over wheat silos back at home. Don't know whether it'll do him much good here.
Normally he'd make this distance easily on a dry day, but kicking from just maybe inside the 50-metre line, it will test him in these conditions.
The boy from Jerilderie. Oh, it's not a bad kick. He's made the distance, no worries, but he hooked it out of bounds on the foot.
That is a big kick with a wet ball. He is one of the longest kicks in football. Billy Brownless. Van der Haar. A veteran. Been a great player for Essendon, Paul Van der Haar. He's played in a number of key positions. Been in premiership sides and a good player too. Hocking was grabbed. Just under 8 minutes of play left in this third quarter. Michael Schultz and Mark Bairstow in after it. And umpire Brian Sheehan will throw it up again about 50 metres out from the Geelong goal. 9-10 to 3-4. Oh, Stoneham actually got that hit out. Umpires picked out a free kick. Will go Essendon's way again. This time to Tim Watson.
Watson pops it wide, but the umpire's going to make him take the kick again over the mark. Time running out here for the Bombers. They need a rush of goals, and a rush is hard to come by in these conditions. It comes back to Hamilton, in fact. Punched on. Spawn off the ground. Gains 20 metres. Oh, courage shown to trap the ball on the booted plane. That was by Rogers. Hughes. Back to Boss. Boss wide. Stoneham. Watson after him. Stoneham's kick. Played by Couch. The hand pass away is good football. Schultz on the turn. Ablett in front. He fumbles. Comes back at it. Diving hand pass to Brownless. Great kick on the chest of Lindner. Bruce Lindner on the turn. Beats the man on the mark and goes bang! Offline, which was a pity. What a build-up.
Have they got some talent up there? Ablett's handball. Brownless looked for Lindner, and then Malcolm Blight. He's really got this team playing as a machine this year. He's very composed. He's a lot of very intelligent coach. Knows a lot about football, Malcolm Blight. Underwood. Centre wing, Hamilton and Danaher, picked up by Paul Hamilton. Oh, very slow to get rid of it. Hand pass to Anthony Danaher. Now it's Michael Long. Back to Spawn. They've actually gone backwards. Spawn to half forward. Danaher a mark. Terry Danaher, 65 metres out from goal. On the mark is Boss. Now he's kicked it wide to Watson. A few good games between those two. Now the loose man is on. He's gone short to Izzard. Can he mark it? Yes. A good mark by the little rover. 20 metres out, 45-degree angle. Well, it's an understatement of the century to say they need some quick goals.
There's a much better build-up there by Essendon. More intelligent use of the ball. Bringing the ball across to the vacant centre-half forward area, and then across to the other side of the ground.
Alan Izzard. Yet to score a goal. Kicks. And he's missed. So it's not their day in the Bombers. But no kick for goal today is easy. 9-11 Geelong, Essendon 3-5, and a very nonchalant looking Kevin Sheedy up there.
Darcy's kick in. Stoneham nudged under it. Free kick to Stoneham. Played for Victoria this year after just a handful of league games. Ball bounces up and sits all right for Bruns. Already to half forward for Geelong. Comes through the back. Duckworth. Wide to the wing, but kick to no one. And the mark to Andrew Rogers. Well, I think he's shown Essendon a thing or two today. Rogers to half forward. Ablett used his body well, but then dropped the mark. Gets the hand pass to Bairstow. Keeps the ball in. What a kick! Exel marks.
And that's reading the game there by Gavin Exel. He saw that Bairstow was under pressure as he was taking his kick, and he knew the place to be was in front. And he decided to run quickly when he saw that Bairstow was about to be tackled, and got that couple of metres on Paul van der Haar.
I'll tell you what, he is a great kick of a football, Drew. Exel.
He's kicked 3 already. And this is away to the left. Big climb down there by Ablett, but rushed through for a behind.
Well, that just shows how difficult it is. 9-12 to 3-5. Gary O'Donnell to half-back. Walsh cleverly over the top. Hamilton. Terry Danaher has been fairly quiet, but very difficult day for any centre-half forward.
He's battled hard though, Pete, hasn't he?
Has he
always
ever?
Contest.
He's been a magnificent player. Danaher, and always giving 100%. As Bernie Quinlan said, there's Bairstow, Ablett. Oh, look at that kick, a beautiful kick. Over the back. Gavin Exel picks it up. Now, is that a free kick? I think it is. Very crude tackle. Play on the umpire called goal to Lindner. The advantage was paid.
I don't know, Jono. Have a look at this. Car's got a whole computer system that actually tells you what's wrong with it. And those backyard boys, I think it's just a question of changing a couple of these, I don't know. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you better look at the distributor cap. Could be cracked. It's probably non-genuine too.
Yeah, doing that.
Commodore's all finished. Have a listen to this.
Love it.
Quick play by Couch to come in and whip the hand pass away and play advantage. Stoneham overruns. Scott comes to Couch again. Good kick on the turn out of very heavy mud there. Use of his body by Lindner. Harvey for Essendon. Kicks backwards. Trouble here for the Bombers. Hamilton back there. Ablett's got him. The ball just went out. And a throw in 50 metres from goal. Gary Ablett started the game like a rocket. He had 7 kicks in the first 15 minutes. And every time he's gone near it, they've roared. Here he goes again. But Duckworth foiled him that time. And we'll have another ball up. Geelong 10-12 in these conditions. Easily the highest score kicked in Melbourne this weekend. Over the shoulder and a free kick to Walsh.
Kevin Walsh has tried particularly hard, and, well, Geelong have been bombarding that ball down there so often. There's been enormous pressure on those Essendon backmen. The ball over the line. No, the umpire said too high on Alan Izzard. He certainly had plenty of free kicks, Essendon. I don't think they could complain about that, which they wouldn't, of course. Short one to Watson. Watson, gee, he played a great quarter. Tim Watson runs. Did he have the ball? Dives back in after it, Neville Bruns. And really, Bernie Quinlan, you've got to admire these players for the skill they've shown under adverse conditions.
Yes, Peter, that's been a good game under these conditions. There's been some good passages of football, and they've delivered the ball well on occasions.
Stoneham, what a terrier he was in there. It comes out to Ablett. Little kick with the outside of his boot, gains 25 metres or 20, and the ball goes out of play. Now, Barry Stoneham, whether it's centre half forward or taking his turn on the ball, he's had to take over in the ruck with Burke off the ground, and he is still going great guns. This comes down to O'Donnell. Punched down by Rogers. Couch, caught by Long. Off the ground, goes Essendon's way. Spawn's hand pass blocked. Couch back in there again. In the back by Madden. Free kick.
He's been a great player, Couch. who's been a top player. Well, they haven't had many weak links. They've just been a terrific team today. Paul Couch towards centre wing. Punched away by Hamilton. He's got the job on Ablett. And the umpire said in the back again. Essendon free kick to Darren Williams. Well, he and Watson have probably been Essendon's best players. Darren Williams, caked in mud. A half forward, no mark. Danaher, straight to Darcy. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up again with almost time clock ticking down, almost three-quarter time here at the MCG.
Madden, and Stoneham beats him. Comes to Buse. Danaher can't get a kick in. Paddles up the ground. Straight through them, Stephen Hocking. Would you believe that? Like a hot knife through butter. To centre half forward. Attempted punch on. I think time's going to run out. Linder, great hand pass to Scott. The siren approaches, and it goes before Scott kicks. But it wasn't a goal anyway. And that is no score. The goal umpire signalled a score. Yes, I think they'll give them the score, and there's the flag. So at three-quarter time, Geelong 10-13-73, Essendon 3-5-23.
Next time you change your oil, trade up to BP Visco 2000. Because a change of oil could change your image. Enter the BP Visco 2000 competition. See a participating BP service station now, and you could win a great new Nissan Exa. Hey, a Nissan Exa! BP, on the move.
The good word on crumpet is capilano. Capilano, the Australian word for honey. Spread the good word. The good word on veggies is capilano. Capilano, the Australian word for honey. Spread the good word.
Hi there, hope you're enjoying our sports coverage. On July the 1st, South Australia will venture across the border to challenge Victoria in state football. Hundreds of South Aussies have already booked to watch the clash, and now here's your chance to win a free trip to see the big game live, thanks to the United Travel Agents Group. 2 double passes, overnight accommodation and air travel courtesy of Ansett could be yours. All you have to do is tell us who will coach the SA team. Send your entry to Let's Lick the Vicks competition, Post Office Box 7 Walkerville, and the first 2 correct entries drawn will be off to the MCG to help SA thrash Victoria. Winners will be announced in Sports World on 7, Sunday, June 18.
There are times when we all need a little extra love and care. It could be because of illness or just the passing of time. We all know how the pressures of today's lifestyle take a heavy toll on our health. That's why a place like Craigmore Supportive Care is so reassuring. You can live here with dignity and confidence, knowing you're being well cared for. There's no incoming fee, and the pension covers all living costs. Craigmore cares for our independence.
A lonely housewife searched for love in the personal columns. She went on a blind date and vanished. One night, 135 people saw a UFO. They have photos and tapes to prove it. How did this prisoner on death row pull off a Houdini-like escape? Now, America's #1 real-life mystery show returns for a brand new season. Hosted by Robert Stack, Unsolved Mysteries premieres Thursday, 9:30 on 7.
His name is synonymous with outrageous antics and cheeky behaviour. His reputation has spread beyond our shores to as far away as Britain, where viewers loved his unique style. Clive Robertson, the man who makes news simply by reading it. Newsworld, tonight on 7.
At three-quarter time, it's a 50-point break to Geelong, who during that quarter kicked 2 goals 3, while Essendon managed just 2 behinds. Geelong 10-13 in these conditions, a fantastic performance.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1989 Premiership season.
Now, Kevin Sheedy speaking to his boys. I don't think he can catch up a 50-point deficit at this stage, Bernie.
No, it's going to be very difficult for Essendon, and especially with the rain clouds. There's still a threat of rain around today, but I think the difference between the two sides has been that when the ball has, when Geelong have had the chance to take the ball into attack, they've gone long and direct, whereas when Essendon have got the ball around this area here, on a number of occasions, they have gone directly wide into the pocket, which not only do they have the chance of losing possession, but it makes it very difficult to kick goals from that area on that sort of angle. They should be going much more direct, even slightly to the other side of goals, where there are less players accumulated and they have a chance, with a number of options running past, to shoot for goal.
Well done, Bernie. And I wonder what Kevin Sheedy had to say. The other match today at Princes Park, last year's grand finalists, and at three-quarter time, Melbourne have the advantage there by 7 points. The Hawks came back with 4 goals in that quarter, so it's certainly not all over yet. And we have a score from Adelaide. Final score in the match between Norwood and South Adelaide, and South got up to win their first game in 26 matches. A double-header being played at Football Park today. Port Adelaide and Woodville just about to get underway. Final quarter underway here at the MCG. Socket forward in Essendon's direction. Anthony Danaher. Tap forward by Madden, chopped off by Stephen Hocking. Overrun by Boss. Quickly by Izard. Essendon very quickly to full forward, but Darcy in front of Werner takes a diving mark.
Tim Darcy's played a fine game down there in defence. Not that it's got down there too often, but when it has, he's been very safe. The kick is marked by Danaher. Terry Danaher. Oh, shocking kick, but again understandable. It's a free kick to Andrew Rogers for in the back. And he played a pretty good game too. That Geelong defence has been tight and hard. The centre wing punched away by Anderson, who's been quiet. Here's Neville Bruns. Great game by Bruns. Out wide to Couch. This is danger. Paul Couch from 70 metres. The long kick. Exel in front. Vanderhaar back after it. Exel off. Throws it out. Umpire didn't think so. Duckworth has lost it. Tim Watson shuffles it out to Underwood. That quick kick comes back and is marked by Gary Hocking. Hocking's going short. He's got a loose man and has found him, Andrew Buse. Now Buse will kick from about 52 metres. Now he's going for the torpedo punt kick too. Let's see where this one goes. It's up in front of goal. Exel in front, staging for a free kick. The umpire having none of that one. That could be an Essendon free kick for in the back. It is to Greg Anderson.
50-point lead to the Cats. Anderson straight up the ground. And a good mark to Terry Danaher, who hit the ground at full tilt. The hand pass astray, though. Malakellis, Watson. Tim Watson's been great. Puts it wide to Spawn. Spawn up to centre wing. A diving mark by Madden. Mark not paid. He hand passes away in a hurry. Rogers did well. Away to Hocking. Hocking a high kick. Not great distance. Ablett stays at the front waiting for the punch down, which never came. Duckworth. Good mark by Hamilton.
Paul Hamilton. Towards the centre of the ground. The Geelong player went without it. This is Michael Long going short. Morgan overran it. Darcy over the top to Morgan. That's beautiful backing up by Tim Darcy. Then Morgan, the long booming kick to half forward, smothered by Malakellis. Underwood to centre of the ground. Gary Hocking was pushed in the back. Umpire might say that's holding the ball. Ooh, that was very sudden death. But Gary Hocking not arguing with it. Terry Danaher appealing to the umpire. Now, look at that mud on the ball. Danaher, not a bad kick under the circumstances to half forward. Nearly a mark to Schultz. But the umpire deliberating that he was pushed in the back, I think.
And Simon Madden's been moved to centre half forward. Kevin Walsh doing the ruck work. And Terry Danaher playing at centre half back.
Kick by Schultz. Hocking in front. Bruns. Grabbed by Danaher. Didn't have it. Free kick to Bruns. Good distance to centre half forward. But Bill Duckworth takes the mark on his chest. Wide to Spawn, who seems to have found a bit of space out here on the green grassy area. To Watson, who trapped it well on the end of his fingertips. Good mark by Plain. But you can see 3 or 4 possessions have moved the ball about 35 metres. It's hard work. O'Donnell, and a further possession, took it sideways. Now the umpire's going to let him get away with this. If he wasn't playing on that, I'd go he.
He went for the hand pass.
Dead set off. O'Donnell, long kick, beautiful kick to the forward line. Essendon player peeling for holding the man. That's Hughes shuffling it out to Boss. Half forward for Essendon. That's Hamilton. Long hand pass to Michael Long. He can't control the ball. And that strong Geelong defence take the ball over the line. And I wonder if he's had any days like this up in Darwin. Whether he'd have a bog track like this. So might be new to Michael Long. There he is going in after it. They might have got into his back there. The umpire thought so. And this is Michael Long about 50 metres out from goal. No chance of making the distance from there, of course. Now he's going short. Oh, straight to the Geelong man in Mark Boss.
And Boss working it up the centre corridor, which this time is dangerous. Danaher marks at centre half forward. Well, if we criticised every player who kicked it to the opposition today, we'd go horse. Danaher's taken a long run in at this one. He'll kick from 45 metres. Well, about 49. Hooked it. Ablett was back there in defence. Comes to Williams. Centering kick to the goal square. Plain a chance. Morgan. No, he didn't get rid of it, and Plain kicked the goal.
I should have known better than to try another brand. The results are never what they promise. There's such a variety of fabric softeners available today. And if you're like me, you've always got your eye out for a product that can deliver what it promises at a reasonable price. Campbell's Fluffy has always been my choice as the quality alternative. With a range of fragrances like lavender, jasmine, lemon and apple blossom, Fluffy offers all that I need in a fabric softener at the right price. From now on, Fluffy stays on my shopping list. Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
Bradley Plain has kicked 3. That's Long getting it to Spawn. The Bombers coming again. Terry Danaher. Over the back is Werner. He's going in after it now, Michael Werner. Hocking's there for Geelong. And Morgan. Smothered off his boot. Robert Scott's there. Werner again. And getting a tap on the back was Michael Werner from Bradley Plain. And look at that mud. Been amazing, the skills under these conditions. 10-13, plays 4-5, Madden, Plain, Izzard also in there, but the umpire, Brian Sheen, will come in and throw it up again.
Essendon have 4 goals on the board, Werner 1, and Bradley Plain has 3. Here goes Plain again. Offline this time, 4 are behind. So it's his first miss. Well, that's a good effort. 3-1 in a scoreline of 4-6.
Tim Darcy had a couple of games early in the year in the reserves and then back into the side and has done particularly well since he came back in. Darcy to half back, punched away by Madden. Player lying on top of the ball. That might be holding the ball against Geelong. Can't see who it is at the moment, but
Michael
it's
Schultz-Peters on the bottom of the pack there.
Well, the umpire saying that he didn't try to get rid of it. And it's Simon Madden at the 50-metre line. Now he's going for the torpedo punt kick too. Let's see where this one goes. Oh, not a bad kick either. Right up to the goal square. The players fly. Izzard at the base of the pack. Morgan also. Here's a chance. Williams. Plain. Onto the left foot. That's smothered. Werner the flyer. Darren Williams brought to ground. Play on, calls the umpire. In he comes to the mud patch to throw it up again.
An example of Geelong's teamwork. The kick by Williams looked as though it could have been a goal. It was smothered by G. Ablett. So he hasn't been a leading goal kicker today, but he's doing all the hard team things. Here's Tim Watson. He's taking it away from goal. Wide to Hamilton. Hasn't made the distance. In the goal square. Madden up. And rushed through by Darcy, which is what Morgan tried a couple of minutes ago and failed to do.
Billy Brownless warming up. Don't think Mark Yates has had a run yet. What a good player to be sitting there on the bench. Steve Hocking. Watson against Bruns. Bruns has got it. Good recovery by Bruns. A little chip pass around the boundary line has found Bairstow, who was almost off. Mark Bairstow, who's doing some racehorse training over here in Victoria, brings it to centre wing. This is Paul Hamilton to Spawn. Centre wing, Spawn, good skills. As he comes straight down the centre, he's heading for home. Werner at the back, punched away by Darcy. Bradley playing, going for goal number 4. Sits it up for Madden. Madden, the flyer, couldn't take the mark. And off his hands and over the line, deep in that forward pocket for the Bombers.
Geelong haven't scored in this quarter. Essendon have the only goal for the term. In fact, they've kicked 1-2 and they're doing all the attacking. Anthony Danaher a snap across the face of goal for a behind. Well, Essendon overran Collingwood a couple of weeks ago, and they've finished on pretty well in all their matches. But you would still think that a 41-point margin, far too much to make up.
Tim Darcy again, straight to centre half back. It's fisted away. Mark Boss and Bruns. Been a great player, Neville Bruns, the half forward. And Billy Duckworth really lifted his game. He's tried hard. Out to Walsh. Caught. That's holding the ball. No, he didn't retard him long enough, the umpire didn't think. Tim Watson. Over to Gary O'Donnell. The short one is on to half forward, but the mark has been taken down there by Schultz.
Schultz kick short of centre wing. Stoneham can't mark. Couch. His left footer is good distance on the turn. Teammates didn't read it too well. Hamilton gets it across to Long. Long to half forward. Kick drops short. And Damien Burke back on the ground takes a mark. Well, I'm glad he hasn't damaged his ribs further. Poor old kick, though, onto the chest of Billy Duckworth.
And Billy playing well, particularly since half-time. There's Neville Bruns, who's had a great day. And it's a little man's game under these conditions, and he has played a terrific game. Excellent good use of the body. Michael Long in after it. There's trouble still because there's Andrew Buse onto the left. Back in front of goal. Lindner. Yes! Now, was that a free kick? No, that was just good hip and shoulder strength by Bruce Lindner.
Yes, just good, clever body. Use of the body there by Lindner. Two players having a good hard go at it. Harvey and Lindner. And Lindner winning out.
Lindner is kicking one. This won't be an easy kick because he's right in the mud. Hooks it slightly and misses. So he is a great kick, Lindner, normally. So again, it emphasises how difficult it is, even from 25 metres.
1-4 to Bruce Lindner. And Gary Ablett back at half-back or even back pocket for Geelong, which is where the action has been because most of the players been on Essendon's forward line in this final quarter. Van der Haar kicks in. Danaher, a mark.
That could have been 50.
It's not thrown back to the player, was it? Over his head, so the umpire a little bit lenient.
Danaher to centre wing. Malachellis jolted out by Harvey. Couch, what a player. Always where the action is. To Bairstow. Courage shown there by Lindner, but is knocked away by Duckworth. Comes back to O'Donnell, who kicks wide. Long is there. Good mark. Getting his body right behind the heavy ball.
Michael Long towards the centre of the ground. He's kicked it straight to Damien Burke. He's got those heavily bandaged thighs as support in the ruck duels. Oh, Exel went in hard after that one. Lindner, but I think they've given away a free kick. That ball goes. And Billy Duckworth again. Is he having a great half? He's gone short looking for Harvey. He's been a quiet player, Mark Harvey. Malachellis, a good effort. And allowed Couch to come in after it. Taken away by Darren Williams. He's been an excellent player. He and Watson have been Essendon's best players by a mile. Hocking going backwards. Ablett's faded out of it a bit since that early blitz. Williams again kicks it off the ground. Burke over to Bairstow, and Bairstow will take Geelong forward.
High to centre half forward. Anderson, not quite. Still after it. Possibly grounds for paying that mark then. The Essendon fans certainly thought so. Kevin Sheedy on the phone. I don't know what positional changes he could make to make much difference to this. It's a 7-goal lead to the Cats. Scott off the ground. O'Donnell. Scott applies the tackle. Comes to Lindner. Slips a hand past to Bairstow, who went before he got the ball. And then he got into his opponent's back and gives away the free kick to Harvey.
Mark Harvey putting his body in as he normally does. And he's a very talented player, Harvey. Towards Williams. Oh, he's played a great game, Darren Williams, in a losing side. To centre wing. Simon Madden. Oh, a bit of fancy dance stuff by Big Simon. Towards half forward. This is Andrew Rogers. Oh, bumped by Werner. Darcy. Oh, look at the backup supporters by Ablett. Ablett a ton of time to go for the long booming kick to centre wing. Walsh is there for the Bombers. Now it's Melacallis. Good play. Quick hand pass. Anderson loses it in the tackle. And must have been held after he got rid of the ball. Free kick to Anderson.
Well, it's the only reason he could have played that, but he definitely had possession of it when he was tackled.
Kick by Anderson. Ablett at the back pushes the whole pack out. Doesn't come down to him. Anthony Danaher to full forward. Overrun by Darcy. Picked up by Werner. Nobody back there. Will it travel the distance? It did. Wrong side of the post.
Six goals, 5. They lead by Geelong. And really, this game was over a long time ago when they got that big break, because under these conditions you just can't allow a side to get that far in front. Darren Morgan, a booming torpedo punt. Oh, that's a mark, a good mark to Damien Burke in front of Walsh. And good to see him back on the ground. He's a really top ruckman, Damien Burke. Wobbly old punt kick, dropped by Danaher. Williams has been great for Essendon. Oh, what a tackle, Melacallis. Yes, and the umpire rewarded it too. It's kicked by Darcy. Down to it, Gavin Exel. Exel, the hand pass to Robert Scott. He's got an open goal. Scott, the little rover. Goal!
The Persian Carpet Gallery at 18 de Quetterville Terrace, Kent Town, offers a magnificent world of handmade Oriental and Persian rugs for the rug you want at the price you can afford. With over 2,000 rugs and carpets beautifully displayed, make your selection at leisure, all at very attractive prices, beautiful on all floor surfaces. You can even take it home to see how it looks before you buy. Inspect now and deal direct, but only with the Persian Carpet Gallery, 18 de Quetterville Terrace, Kent Town.
Well, that was the Cats' first goal this quarter and only their third since half-time. They were 8 goals 10 to the long break and really had a winning break, leading by 37 points at that stage. And the huge crowd at the MCG getting the chant going. Geelong, they've come a long way down the highway from Geelong for this today. Burke wins. Scott, the goal scorer, shuffles it wide to Melacallis. Good kick. In front of Mark. Oh, sensational mark to Lindner.
I think the umpire's paying the free kick, Drew.
It would have been mark anyway, wouldn't it?
It was a great effort anyway. Let's have a look at it again. Free kick against Vanderhaar. Over the shoulder, much too late, but the player in front again rewarded.
Well, Bruce Lindner has been a major offender with inaccurate kicking. 1 goal 4. This from 40 metres. 1 goal 5.
Well, we haven't seen wet conditions like this in Melbourne for a long time. It's very rarely do we have a muddy ground like this for league football in Melbourne. And the players' skills have been outstanding. So is this man, Darren Williams. Deserves a medal for a losing side. I reckon he's been Essendon's best player easily. He and Watson. Mark Harvey has taken this mark at half-back. Towards half forward, the mark dropped by Schultz, but he taps it on the boss. Over to Bruns. Bruns to half forward, it's all Essendon, and the mark has been taken by Anthony Danaher. Now, normally a prodigious kick of a football. And he gets on, that's not a bad kick actually, with a wet ball. out to his brother Terry. Anderson shuffling it on. Schultz lying on top of it. And the umpire, this time it's Chris Mitchell. Bradley Plain, splattered in mud, gets up nonchalantly. And the umpire will throw it up.
Ruckman go at it. Comes out to Stephen Hocking, who paddles. Izard first back there. We let it go for Harvey, who was bowled over by 2 cats. And that's how they've tackled all season. And that's why they jolt the ball free and have the best percentage in the league. 161.9 percentage coming into today's game. Scored the most points by a mile. Over 1,500 in 10 matches. Whistle gone, and it's a Geelong free kick. And it'll come back to Michael Schultz. Sorry, Tim Darcy it is.
Darcy to centre wing. Walsh hooks it out. This is Couch. Oh, Paul Couch. He's a bit quicker this year. Bairstow. A long kick. This is dangerous for Essendon. Oh, brilliant mark, Gary Ablett. And don't they love him? Look at those Geelong supporters. Now,
you can always rely on Gary Ablett to do something sensational. There it is again. A one-hander with a greasy ball. Tremendous player, Gary Ablett.
now he thinks he can kick this. He's going to have a shot. I don't know. He is a great kick, but drop punt from 45 metres with a heavy ball. If he kicks this, then he is a sensational kick. Because his footing will be difficult. Oh, he's gone the torpedo. Punt, it's coming back. Oh, Ablett. Goal.
It's fast forward and it's controversial.
Are your pets on drugs?
It's intelligent.
Dumb to the nth degree.
It's berserk. It's outrageous.
And the list goes on and on and on.
But is it funny?
The answer, of course, is yes. Ha, ha, ha.
Fast forward, now at the new time.
It's really good for you.
Of 8:30 Thursday on 7.
Michael Long out of the middle. Slips it across to Anderson. Long kick. Will it clear this pack? Will it make the distance? Van der Haar on the forward line. Will it sock it through in defence by Morgan for a rush behind to the Bombers? So still positional changes being made. And you just never know where Gary Ablett's going to bob up. He spent nearly the entire quarter in defence. And the first time you notice he's on the forward line, he takes a one-hander and kicks the longest goal for the day. Brilliant stuff. Ablett today has kicked 2 goals too. Madden goes for the line. And eventually Boss finds it for a throw-in.
Well, Geelong's percentage before today was 161.9. This certainly won't help, won't hinder their percentage. That was Yates about to come on the ground, or warming up. I don't know whether he'd want to come on at this time. 5 minutes of play left. There's Michael Long hooking it back in front of goal. Let's see, Bradley Plain can't get it off the ground. Watson, now a chance for Plain, taps it back in front of goal, and in fact taps it through for a behind to the Bombers. 12-15 to 4-11. That's 8 goals for. A brilliant performance by Geelong.
Morgan straight up the ground. Couch overruns. Gary Hocking to Boss. Already to centre wing. Malakalis charging at it. Good pickup. Well, he didn't quite get clean possession. I don't think anybody's had clean possession here today. Not such a thing. It's a free kick here to Essendon. And it'll go back to Andrew Underwood. And Yates coming on for his first run for the day, replacing Stephen Hocking. And we've only got 6 or so minutes left in the game.
Bruns a little bit late on the scene. Alan Izard chips across and takes it. Izard, the half forward. The big fist away was by Boss. He's a very disciplined player. That was Darcy. Hocking, Gary Hocking to Lindner, to Bairstow. They really have got some skill. Ablett couldn't take the mark. He's back after it. Might be shuffled out to him. Gary Ablett, let's see his pace. Here he goes. Still going. Tripped. Umpire didn't think so. Ablett brought the ground. Is that a free? No. And you listen to the roars of the Geelong supporters, they'll probably reckon there was a free in there somewhere. What about the pace?
Yeah, pace. Desperation shown here by Gary Ablett. Crawled after that on hands and knees in the end.
and lost his boot in the mud. Tapped out close to the boundary line. One boot Ablett. Back he goes to Bairstow. Hooks it in. Chance here for Exel. He was swamped, outnumbered 2-1. Johnston went down. Gary Hocking. Malakellis going past him. Oh, Lindner had it spent before he got it. 40 metres out. Skirts around them, Bruce Lindner. Goes for goal. Not far off line, but he's kicked 1-6 now.
Lucky for Essendon that he has kicked 1-6. But really, Essendon under these conditions have been outclassed. And I don't think it'll be all that much different on a dry day either, really. Geelong played pretty good dry day football. This is Bruns. Had an outstanding game. From 50 metres. Oh, sets it up for the forwards, right up in front of goal. Damien Burke is there. Exel also off his hands and through for a behind to the Cats. Yet another one. Plenty of spirit in that Geelong side. There's Gary Hocking and Gavin Exel. 12-17 to 4-11. And Anthony Danaher looks to be back at full back.
Geelong will move ahead of Essendon after today's win. They'll be level on wins, but Geelong with a far superior percentage. And it just depends on what happens at Princes Park as to how many places the Bombers will drop. Malakellis hand pass intercepted. Underwood gets one in the back, and Andrew Underwood has the free kick at half-back flank for the Bombers.
Underwood built very solidly and has tried hard, but Essendon have been very undermanned as far as skill in these conditions against this great side. Yates, he's shoved mud all over Yates's face then.
Pete, they've just put the crowd on the board. 87,653.
Well, that is unbelievable. It looked like a grand final crowd, but we guessed about 65. But it is packed up with the top rafters here. The top are all full. So 87,000 for a home and away game on a day like this.
I still don't believe it.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? I must admit. There's Anthony Danaher bringing it back to centre wing. Bradley Plain. Buse trying to tap it out. The umpire's found a free kick there to Andrew Buse. On 87,000, that was a shock.
Oh, no way.
12-17, plays 4-11. Andrew Buse he's been doing a lot of smiling today. Must be looking up at the scoreboard now and again.
Up to half forward. Essendon in front of the pack. Socket forward by Johnston. Van der Haar goes in to apply a tackle. Ball flipped through the pack. Couch in the thick of things. Spawn gets the hand pass out and is buried. The umpire comes in and will ball it up, and Kieran Spawn to the right of screen there picks himself up very gingerly. Time ticking down, just over a minute left. And the umpire will throw it up again.
Andrew Buse on the base of that pack. Gee, they've had some good players. Geelong picking the best players on the ground going to be difficult. Just they've all contributed some stage of the match. The defence has been rock-like. There's Bairstow. Another good game today by Bairstow. And no wonder Geelong strove so hard to keep that player from going back to Western Australia. There's Bruns. Quick kick. Punched away by Stoneham. Straight to Harvey. Harvey brings it to centre wing. It's only a Geelong man there. And that is Paul Couch.
Well, if there are 87,000 here today, I reckon there were 60 at the start. There's about 50 at the finish. And another 30 mustn't have seen too much of the game. Couch to half forward. Big pack. Malakellis, an impressive performance. And the umpire will throw it up again. This match going through its last rites, and there's the siren. A thumping win by Geelong, 12-17-89, beating Essendon 4-11-35. And we have another match in progress today. Last year's grand finalists at Princes Park. It is still in progress over there. We can take you there now. And here is Peter Landy.
So with just 2 minutes left in this match, Melbourne look like the winners. They lead by 14 points, 68 plays 54 in the replay of the 1988 grand final.
Only one goal kicked so far in the last quarter. That was by Melbourne. And led by 7 points at the previous change. They've led all day, really, apart from John Clatton's opening goal. And have been the better side. Big punch away by Madigan. On to Dippy Domenico. As Ian said, he does look a likely colt. And the umpire's given a free kick to Melbourne. Ross, what was that?
In that congestion, a free kick to Gary Lyon. The umpire's picked it out, and there's a big pack of players there. And the way Chris Langford's hanging his head, it's actually going to Steve O'Dwyer. Confused me, the umpire, and a few of the Hawthorn players as well.
So Steve O'Dwyer, only 2 marks and 3 possessions so far. There's a chance to sew the game up if it wasn't sewn up already. Not the greatest of kicks, though. And Ayres will cut it through for 1 rushed behind. So a point to the Demons with only 1 minute left in the match. They will win it. 8-6 to 10-9 as Ayres boots the ball back into play. We'll have to do that again because the goal umpire hadn't finished waving the flags. But it's all academic. It's been a good performance by Melbourne. They did have similar conditions at the Sydney Cricket Ground last Friday week. Hawthorn played at Subiaco last week, so they've certainly had a contrast in conditions. Is that a mark? No. Umpire will bounce it, ball it up. Simon Eishol, there's mud in your eye.
He had a nice feed there, didn't he?
Doesn't taste too good, the Princes Park turf. Very much on the nose. Tackle applied by Ayres. As the siren is due to go any tick at the clock, they're already singing in the outer. Some sort of revenge for a 96-point thrashing in the grand final last year. Gary Lyon knocks it down to Gary Ayres, who punts Hawthorn up towards midfield. Phoebe should get there first. No tuck off the ground. It's Dippy Domenico, actually. Steins at midfield. Curran tries to burst his way through. Good tackle from Phoebe, who wins the ball. Kick smothered. And again, we'll see a bounce.
So just seconds left in the match. And Melbourne, who have led nearly from the start, will be rewarded with a much-deserved victory. There's the siren. Melbourne win.
So Melbourne victorious in the replay of the grand final. They handled the conditions much better today than Hawthorn. The Demons victorious by 15 points. They led by 5 at quarter time, 13 at half time, and they outscored the Hawks by 2 points in the last 2 quarters as well. Hawthorn had their chances. Possibly in the first half they looked better, but Melbourne really reveling in the mud, and they made the most of their opportunities. So Hawthorn finally dropped one after last being beaten in the opening round of the season. At the Demons, I don't think Hawthorn would have too many excuses today, Ian. They were just beaten by a better side.
Well, I think Melbourne are to be congratulated. They're a team of desperate, disciplined footballers, and John Northey has a group of committed people, and I think that they're headed for another decent performance in the finals. They certainly aiming for the top 3, and this should give them some sort of impetus to go on and play the second half of the season and give them a place in that top 3.
One way to keep people off the ground at Princes Park, make it muddy, not too attempted to run out to the players today. 10-9-69, Melbourne defeating Hawthorn 8-16-54 at Princes Park.
Due to our coverage of VFL, today's edition of Wombat won't be shown. However, it can be seen this Saturday afternoon at the special time of 4:30.
One of television's most loved families back together for a premiere movie.
Your face has held up pretty well for half a century.
The Bradfords celebrate a warm family reunion.
Now, this is the way the Bradford house should look.
Dick Van Patten, Mary Fran, and the original cast prove once again that 8 is enough.
I do so love you guys.
They're all there, from the smash hit TV show and a warm, wonderful movie everyone will enjoy. 8 is enough, a family reunion. 8:30 Wednesday on 7.
The world travel, the travel
Discover India's magic on a 12-day penthouse tour, including a luxurious 2 days on board your own houseboat with your own butler. Book with Harvey World Travel for this exclusive holiday offer. Only $1,995 and you'll discover the magic of India.
'Cause we're Harvey World Travel, the travel professionals for you.
She's with your cold chips, the natural supreme. She's with your spinach, or great Florentine. Garlic, carrots, broccoli, pumpkin. She's with it. She's with your noodles to make a macaroni. She's with your fish to make a moni. Made from a blend of natural craft cheeses. She's with it.
What's off? Sit on a minute. Cheese was it.
You'd be so nice to come home to.
Good afternoon, Master James.
You'd be warm and cozy as a fire. Always there to lend a hand. Helpful, courteous and kind. When you've got a gold heir, good help's not hard to find.
Sandwich.
You'd be so nice, you'd be paradise to come home to. Gold heir.
Evening, sir.
Gold heir, the best help you can get.
It's much easier to get a job in business if you're properly trained by the Stones people. Stones Commercial College. Phone us on 231-5982. You'll learn to use the latest electronic equipment in uncrowded classes with helpful teachers. New courses commence on July 18th and enrolments are now open. You're also welcome to call in at any time to inspect our up-to-date facilities and extensive range of the latest equipment. Stones Commercial College, taking care of business.
Next on Hinch.
Kids and the crimes they commit. Car theft, assault, robbery, arson and drugs. They're committing the crimes but not doing the time.
The whole of this system is utterly off the rails.
Young, free and dangerous to know. Next on Hinch.
And so at a replay of last year's grand final, Melbourne getting some sort of revenge, although it doesn't add a premiership to their tally. 10-9-69 to 8-6-54. Hawthorn kicking only one behind in the final quarter. Melbourne added only 1 goal, 3 players from both sides obviously very tired. Dunstall 3 goals for Hawthorn. Didn't get a possession in the final quarter. Greg Healy got 3 for Melbourne. All of his 3 goals kicked in the first half. Let's see some highlights. Melbourne and Hawthorn from Princes Park. Socket away by Johnson. That was, well, just about his 10th kick. Pritchard, snap out of the pack. Dunstall marks on the line, but will be on a very acute angle.
Outside of the mark area there that we're infringing, so he must take his kick again, but...
Take 2. And Dunstall kicks his 3rd goal.
Middle line. So chance for the Demons. Half-forward area. O'Dwyer, Platten, gathers the football. Hand pass wide. It's a throw, according to the umpire, against Johnny Platten. And the free kick will go to Melbourne to be taken by Gary Lyon. Johnny Platten not too happy with the umpiring decision. Don't often see him remonstrate, do you?
He's had a couple of decisions go against him. He's obviously not been happy with the umpire saying that he used both open hands there to get rid of the ball.
So Gary Lyon, fairly fresh ball. Beautiful long kick by Lyon is a goal.
Jim.
Magnificent kick.
That's how to kick a football. Opportunity for Platten inside the 50-metre mark. Hall to Curran, to Deere. Deere has a shot at goal. Reads it better. Curran onto the left foot. Tries for Buckenara. Stein, but Lovett's done a great job on him today. And it comes to Condon. And the mark for Pritchard. Possibly a little bit further out. But makes no mistake. Doesn't quite make the distance. Howard attempting to pick up the greasy ball. Not easy. Flicks it out to Spalding. Tries to get under his left foot. Excellent shot. Jackson underneath it and marks.
Great work again by young John Howard.
Jackson plays on, snaps and puts it through. Tremendous play. That's his first touch. Knocked down by Steins. Now that was socket off the ground and it's a goal. I think it's been said that Melbourne are the masters of a close finish, and on the scoreboard 15 points is, I guess, a fairly small margin by the way football's played today, but a good win, Ross Glendinning, wasn't it?
Certainly was a very fine win for Melbourne. They just persisted all day, as they have done all year. And they got good value from their younger players. In the end, they had also players like Gary Lyon,
Brett Lovett in the back line, Earl Sporting up forward. They just persisted all day and they finished off a lot better. Alan Johnson in the back line, penetrating kicks out of the danger zone, and their workers midfield, Icehold, and those sorts of players, Newport, really gave them great value, didn't they?
Pretty disciplined team effort, really, Ross, wasn't it? You know, as soon as the game had finished, we're trying to find 3, 2 and 1, and you could probably slot about 7 players in, and then you probably leave 3 or 4 out that certainly gave some sort of contribution to a tremendous Melbourne victory. And Peter, if the finals were played in these conditions, I think Melbourne would probably feel pretty safe about backing themselves.
Well, they played well in Sydney, didn't they, Ian, against the Swans? Same conditions.
Yeah, they're a very, very tough side, Melbourne. Very good team effort, and they've got goers on every line.
And the young players did well, Ross, didn't they?
Yes, Beveridge, Tingay, Howard, they all persisted and they gave them great value for effort.
There it is, a replay of the grand final. Melbourne victorious by 15 points here at Princes Park. Greg Healy finishing up with 3 goals for the winners. Dunstall got 3 goals for Hawthorn. We'll return to our host, Drew Morford, after this break.
The back fence has fallen down.
And Dad's blood pressure is up, so the kids advise him to sample some transcendental meditation.
What's his Maharishi's name?
Keith. Keith? So how do the teachings of the Maharishi work?
Your mind is like a large barrel.
And your brain is like a small bucket.
Will Dad ever attain spiritual enlightenment like Nudge?
Now my mind is completely empty.
Hey Dad and Family Ties from 7:30 Wednesday on 7.
Speedy Mufflers, qualified mechanics.
Gets you better work, faster and guaranteed.
If your car's not handling properly, it could be your suspension. Bring it into your Speedy Mufflers. A qualified mechanic will give it a free check and you a free quote. And if it needs it, we can replace coils or leaf springs, shock absorbers, McPherson struts, whatever. Wheel alignments start for as low as $25. Yes, get your car's suspension checked by experts.
So bring your car to your local Speedy Mufflers for better work, faster and guaranteed.
Harris Scarf's pre-stock taking sale starts Tuesday, 8:45 a.m. sharp. Rush for Manchester values like Excellence Feather and Down Continental quilts from only $39. Printed flannelette sheets from just $20 a pair. And 100% cotton lace tablecloths from a crazy $2.99. This versatile sewing machine from Brother is a great buy at only $199. Here's value, a 13-piece screwdriver set complete with carry case, just $19.99. Remember, like it, charge it at Harris Scarf, your value for money store.
It's a Cadbury Dairy Milk. Time of the day.
Only Cadbury Dairy Milk Chocolate gives you the great taste and the goodness of a glass and a half of full cream dairy milk in every 200 grams.
When everything feels like it's going your way. It's a Cadbury Dairy Milk. Time of the day.
That'll be the phone, Rich.
Huh? Yeah.
Hello? Huh? Sounds like the battery, son. Huh. Under the bonnet, son. Bye. I think city life's made him a bit slow, Madge.
It doesn't take much to keep in touch.
She's a bright young girl who wants to make a career in singing country and western.
The usual procedure would be to write down the information.
Taking on part-time work wherever she travels, she can do just about any job.
I don't need to, I can remember it.
But something in her mannerism, something in her reaction to certain things doesn't quite fit.
Do you get the feeling that she's running away from something?
What is it that she's terrified of people finding out?
Amy Lee! Amy Lee, please, wait!
A Country Practice, 7:30 tonight on 7.
Score of the MCG, Geelong 12-17-89, defeating Essendon 4-11-35. The Cats won every quarter, but they really had it sewn up at half-time when they led by 37 points. They ran out winners by 54. Exel kicked 3 goals, Ablett kicked 2, Lindner kicked 1 goal, 6. And for Essendon, Plain got 3 of their 4 goals. Well, Geelong just keep on going, no matter what the conditions.
Yes, Drew, I think they're getting better and better. We saw them last week and they're finishing off particularly well in that last quarter against Collingwood. But today we saw a side with many informed forwards and many options on the forward line. They won well across the centre line. Their on-ball players were better
and their back line was steady. So when you've got a side that's winning in the ruck, across the centre line, on the forward line, everywhere, it's not surprising that Essendon were beaten.
Well, Essendon had very few good players. There's Damien Burke, who rucked very, very well against Madden, and Ablett, well, he played another top game. I thought that was a push in the back against Exel. The umpire didn't think so, and he kicked 3 goals up there at full forward. Look at that one dribbling through. But as you said, Bernie, plenty of options, and I always thought with their small man strength they'd be a little bit too good for Essendon today. They've got Bruns, and they've got Couch, and they've got Buse and Scott, and they just run that ball. There's an advantage decision paid there, and Lindner put a goal through. He was off target today, kicked 1-5 or 1-6. Danaher tried hard as he always does for Essendon. I thought Essendon's best players were Darren Williams, and there he is there, Darren Williams, setting that one up in front of goal. Bradley Plain up there, number 14, tried hard. Now, that was a bad mistake. Well, understandable under the conditions by Darren Morgan. Also, Tim Watson tried hard all day. Darren Williams again there taking the mark, and they just didn't have enough backup support. Geelong did not have a weak link in their whole side,
No, Peter, they've got very good discipline in this side now, and as I said, they do the 1%ers very well these days, which is the tackling, the chasing, and the team spirit that Malcolm Blight has got in this side now is going to carry them a long way.
Well, that was a lovely hand pass across to Robert Scott. And they're often, some of their players, there's Couch, who played a great game, but they always give the man to the ball in a better position. What's this mark of Ablett's here? The one-hander, he is a mercurial player. It was kicked by Bairstow, who had 22 kicks and 10 possessions for the game. But look at this. I thought he was going to kick a drop punt. Oh, no, he just moved his hands at the last moment to set it up for a torpedo. The right hand higher on the ball than the left. And bang, look at that kick with a wet ball. He's happy, and the Geelong fans were happy to see that one go through.
Well, the statistics show that Geelong clearly winners in the kicking department, also hand passes, and it's not too many teams outmark Essendon to that extent, 61-49.
Well, a lot of that was to do with their short play around the ground, because they ran to the spaces, and their backing up is just so good, and they're kicking with such great precision at the moment that they do get a lot of uncontested marks.
And Essendon lose 2 places on the ladder as a result of today's defeat. We can take you down to the winners' dressing room, and here is Michael Roberts with Paul Couch.
Well, Paul, obviously very boggy conditions today. It must have been a hard slog.
Yeah, it was, Michael. It was very muddy out there. It's the worst condition I've seen the MCG in. It was very heavy in the middle and all over the ground, really. There wasn't too many dry spots.
Both sides in the 5. You must be pleased to win.
Well, we had to win today to keep climbing up the ladder. Like, we want to get second or third, you know, in the top 3. You know, you've got a chance, you know, to play in the finals, and we just wanted to keep going and, you know, keep on a winning streak.
Yourself, I've seen you play well in the dry. You play well in the wet. What do you prefer?
Oh, well, it doesn't really worry me. It was good fun out there today. You know, slipping and sliding in the mud. It was good, you know, because it's the first muddy conditions that we've, you know, been in, and it was good to play well. All the team play well, so it was good.
Now, because of injuries, you haven't had a change to the side for 2 weeks. It must be a bonus.
Oh, we've been lucky that, you know, even the reserves, there's a couple of blokes that come into the reserves just this week. We've only really got the one injury, and that's Ray Sterrett, and he's out for the year. We've been really lucky this year with, you know, no injuries, which helps.
Next week against Melbourne, your 4th game at the MCG. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be a tough encounter because, you know, Melbourne play more physical clashes one-on-one, and it's going to be hard, but we are on one, so we'll be back here next week trying our hardest.
Well, a great game yourself. Keep the snowball rolling, and good luck for next week.
Thanks, mate. All right, start.
Paul Couch in the Geelong room speaking there with Michael Roberts. Now let's take a look at up-and-coming events on the Australian television network. Next Friday morning, Greg Norman leads the Aussie charge against the best golfers in the world at the US Open. Experience the excitement from 5 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time as the Australian television network takes you to Oak Hill, New York exclusively, with coverage continuing on all 4 days of the tournament. And then next Saturday afternoon, enjoy the VFL Match of the Day. And on Sunday, there's more action in the Hungry Jacks National Basketball League. Big weekend next weekend on the Australian television network. Hope you can join us. There's more coming up from the MCG after this.
On Open hospital hours.
I'm the errand boy from outer space.
Granville's got the customers on the run. While Ronnie Barker solves the medical problems.
What the hell's biliary deficiency? You look in a mirror and suddenly life seems to be more of a pockets than ball.
Together they're one big happy family.
How are you doing, Granville?
Then hey, it's a low, just part of the comedy fun. Thursday night from 7:30, only on 7.
Next time you change your oil, trade up to BP Visco 2000. Because a change of oil could change your image. Enter the BP Visco 2000 competition. See a participating BP service station now, and you could win a great new Nissan Exa. Hey, a Nissan Exa. BP, on the move.
Hidden deep within the cabins of your local Kmart, the phantom of the stocktake hatches his daring plots. Year after year, this friend of the consumer, this unknown champion of the shopper, slashes prices even further than Kmart have planned, and all on top brands. Bigger savings right throughout the store on the products you want to buy. They don't know what he's doing to Kmart stocktake prices, but you can find out starting tomorrow at your local Kmart. The phantom makes a Kmart stocktake a fantastic stocktake. Where will he strike next?
It's Holden Astra run-out time. Here's 3 big reasons why you should buy the 4-cylinder Holden Astra. Power. The efficient 1.6-litre fuel-injected engine is a winner whichever way you go. Economy. Highway Cycle gives a very economical 6.6 litres per 100 kilometres. Features like tilt-adjustable steering, rear seat folding, stereo AM/FM radio cassette and radial tune suspension. The end-of-model run-out price on Astra is from just $13,490. See your Holden dealer now.
And we've just heard here that Michael Long, the Essendon player in his first season in the VFL, was reported today for allegedly striking with a clenched fist. So he'll have to front up. It might be a busy night at the tribunal this week. Michael Roberts is still down in the Geelong rooms. I suppose the players still getting the mud out of their ears. Here's Neville Bruns.
Well, Neville, in atrocious conditions, what was it like out in the middle today?
It was woeful. Not only did it look bad, it smelled bad.
Well, the tackling today in such conditions was outstanding. Has Mel Blight homed in on that at training?
Yes, we don't do a lot of tackling at training, but we do a lot of talking about it and going through what the things we have to do to make sure our tackling's spot on. And yeah, I think we've honed in on it pretty well this year.
Andrew Buse started the year off on the bench, went to defence, now in attack, played another great game today.
Yeah, Andrew's on fire at the moment. I think the fact that he's been changed around is really just giving him a bit more spirit into his game, and he likes being on the ball, and he's really enjoying it at the moment.
Now, Essendon were a game clear of you today. It must have been very pleasing to win like that.
Well, our aim's to make the top 3, and I think today was the first step towards that because they were above us and we just had to peg them back one, so we did that. So next week, Melbourne, and hopefully we can continue going up that ladder.
You went into the game as favourites. Was that added pressure on the side?
I don't think so. I think we realise that we are playing very well. We're teaming very well together, and we know that to beat a side like Essendon, we just all got to play well, and I think we did that today. I don't think we really had a bad player again today.
As you said, Melbourne next week will be tough.
It will be. I believe they beat Hawthorn. Is that correct? Yeah. Well, they're obviously on fire, and I don't think the conditions will be much different than what they are out there now, so it'll be another hard slog.
Well, well done yourself, and well done to the Cats today. Thanks, Neville.
Thanks, Mike. Tough.
Neville Bruns there with Michael Roberts and fancy Geelong 4 weeks in a row at the MCG. Now, let's take a look at the league ladder as it stands at the halfway mark of the season now that we've completed round 11. Hawthorn losing today, but they still retain top spot by virtue of their extra percentage over Melbourne. Melbourne moved up level with them on 9 wins out of 11 matches. And Geelong moved up from 4th to 3rd with their win here today, and with their percentage taking a further boost to 165.1. Essendon slipped from 2nd to 4th, losing today, and their percentage took a little bit of a dent, 121.9. Collingwood won in Perth yesterday, and they regained their place in the 5. North Melbourne outside the 5 on percentage, and then a game break back to St Kilda. Sydney really starting to lose ground, having lost 6 matches in a row. Footscray and Richmond, and also Fitzroy, all on 4 wins.